Oh, jeez. Right.
Man, I gotta get something to drink, man. I'm
Yeah, just start the show and then go take off and do your
that's
thing.
cool. Yep.
You know, play the
All
intro,
right.
and you got about a minute.
Yeah, if
I
he
guess so.
depends on what intro he uses. It could be.
He's
I mean,
going
if
to
we do
take
this-
5 minutes to find the intro and which
Yeah.
one is it?
Yeah, if we play this right, we don't have to start for another 45 minutes.
Oh, hopefully, good.
Yeah.
It'll just be dead air after the intro.
yeah.
Still be more entertaining than anything we do.
Usually.
Leave a thumbs up. All right, here we go.
Whenever we're ready to start. Thank you all. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Man. That's all, folks. That's all good.
How much time did that take up? 2 minutes. Good job.
Not enough. Not enough time. Yeah. Welcome, everyone. We got Paul and Johnny here too, so let's get them in on this. Doesn't have to be all about me. Welcome to Straturday night. Johnny went off to have a sandwich or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he took off immediately. He's like, I'm going to start the show and then leave.
Yeah.
I still got to go get something. I don't have anything.
We'll go take care of that. You know, we can hold down the fort for a minute.
Okay, just make sure to say this is a podcast.
Oh, that's right.
No, can't say that.
It's already been said. So.
Oh man, make sure to say that we're live on YouTube.
Remember,
we're
technically,
live
I'm
on
not supposed to be here.
We're live on Facebook.
Facebook, we're live. We're live on Facebook.
We've got a phone number that you can text right down there
415
somewhere.
952-3263.
My phone
Text
is in
us.
the other room, so I won't get the text unless I
That's
go get it.
great. That's awesome.
We're prepared for all this.
I mean, it's not like this show doesn't happen every week at this time.
I know. It's not like we didn't sign on 2 minutes ago and no preparation whatsoever.
Oh, there it is. Oh, wow. Let's see. Are we getting text messages? Oh, getting all kinds of stuff.
Already.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, starting off early.
I wonder if people are sitting right by their phones, just wait. I can't wait for the show to start before I can hit send.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
Text
blow up
Johnny anytime.
Johnny's phone.
Actually, yeah, you guys can text that number anytime, day or night, anytime you want.
Johnny will respond when he
Does it
feels
make?
like it.
I was going to say, does it make any sort of an audible tone when you get that text? Because if you can do that, we would prefer 2:46 a.m. every Tuesday morning.
Yeah, on the West Coast. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's usually up at that time anyway, I think.
I know. Yeah, we don't know. He doesn't sleep.
He doesn't sleep, no.
No, never.
Yeah. So, yeah. Welcome, everyone.
That's it. We're done. That was it. That was the. We didn't really think past this point.
That's all. Uphill from here.
Channel members.
Oh, there's that. We got to do that.
We love you.
Absolutely.
No, let Johnny do that. You know, because he's going to leave the show for 20 minutes in a minute.
That's right.
Yeah. Channel membership here on YouTube. It is a thing. It's very exciting. And where is it? The top tier of channel membership are the executive producers like Charles Green, Joe Christian, Wayno, Thomas Santiago, Music Therapy Laz, Susan Silvestri, I think.
Isn't
Bent
that
Tom?
isn't that the old manager for Soundgarden? That's Susan Silver. Sorry.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, Susan Silver. I remember her.
Oh, I thought you meant Olive Garden.
No, that would be totally different. Speaking of Olive Garden, I'm hungry now. Somebody treat stream us.
Treat stream.
Yeah.
Treat stream.
Did we ever get that working?
You just have to set it up. You just have to log into the website and set it up.
Restaurants in your area that deliver at this hour. So
Yeah.
We may not see Dane tonight. Dane, our friend at Zim's Guitars, is moving to a new location that's going to cost him 4 times as much as it costs him right now. So those great deals on guitars, start calling. He's not selling.
oh.
Wow.
Or he's selling as much as he can.
He's going to try, I think.
Yeah.
Where are we? Bent Tom, who I see you right there. He's talking about something up the Olive Garden that happened one time.
Oh boy.
Randy Price is already talking about somebody trying to get his Wolfgang out of him.
Oh man,
$2,000 for a made in Japan Wolfgang. Take the money.
those are great guitars.
Yeah, they're awesome guitars. I regret selling mine. I had a Wolfgang. I had the Wolfgang Stealth, Japanese Stealth. I regret selling it.
James Gum, Jarhead Rock, Frank Corcoran, Michael Smith, Stephen Franklin, Dad Halen, John Moronic, Jamory Hawkins, Voodoo Child SJ, and I see him in the chat. He's here.
Steve Carmichael.
That wasn't me. Steve Carmichael.
Steve Carmichael.
Steve Carmichael?
Yes, Steve Carmichael. There he is.
Right there.
And again, that's the top tier of channel membership here on YouTube. If you'd like to become a channel member, click the join button below. And where are we? Can I do this?
We're apparently live on the Van Halen group, 74-20.
We are. We're live over there as well.
So hello, Facebook.
Hello. I don't have a YouTube window open, but channel members, look in your emojis. You have brand new emojis.
We do? I don't.
Yeah, channel members.
We're not
do.
channel members, Paul.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're the talent.
Great.
If that's what you want to call it.
Talent.
We're the people who show up every week.
Yes. Alright, 10 p.m. Huh?
I don't even know what that means.
I don't know.
Oh, there's Dane Zimmerman. Apparently, he's taken time off from moving his business, his place of business, and he decided to join.
Nice.
Hey, man. Dude, if you want to jump in, let us know.
Dude.
And then
John
at some
Beale
point,
is talent. There we go.
At some point, we'll actually see Jay Hannon, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, he was very excited for tonight.
So much so that he's on time.
In rare form as usual.
There we go. Brand new emojis. Thank you to Cobra Kai Platoon. Can you see them?
No.
Are you watching? You have to watch on YouTube.
Emojis. Yeah, I see them.
Oh,
Nice.
now I see some. Yeah, I see some.
My
I
head
see the
looks
cap.
like the biggest head of all.
Oh, now I see them. Yeah. Fruitcake Tony just posted them. Yeah.
Awesome. Tony.
Do they get to pick those emojis?
Huh?
Pick me. Pick
Well,
me.
they
Pick
have
me.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of emojis they can pick, special emojis they can pick from. Right?
There's 12 special emojis for channel members only, and that's like 5 of them.
There's
Pick
12
me. Pick
special
me.
emojis.
So, like Bent Tom. There you go.
Yeah, look at
Awesome,
that.
man.
Good
How
stuff.
come Johnny has a background and the rest of us don't?
That's another one. There's 2 me's
Oh.
in that one. There's one, and then there's the other one.
Oh, on that. Yeah, that's one of your.
Yes,
screen
thrash metal and fun riffs. I am the president of the Neighborhood Watch. You can call me George Zimmerman, although I'd rather you didn't.
Okay, I'm logged in.
George Zimmerman. Yeah, that's a. Oh yeah, now I know.
Yeah, that guy was an asshole.
I was trying to think of Neighborhood Watch. What was that movie about Neighborhood Watch?
Oh, I don't remember.
Ben Stiller, The Watch. I think. Yeah. The
Yeah.
Watch. And I don't know what his character's name was. That was a good one.
Sloppy McFloppy. Are guns legal where you are? Yes, very much so. Arizona's great with guns. Arizona, you don't need you can carry guns everywhere in Arizona except for federal buildings.
About 5 miles
schools.
north, up in New Hampshire. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
Very legal.
Yeah. Guns
God
are
bless
everywhere.
America. America. So what's going on tonight, boys?
Hey,
Hey.
That was
we may as well
great.
start the
Nailed
show.
it.
We may as well get something started here.
yeah.
Good to
Yes.
see everyone. Good to see you, Paul. We missed you last week.
I crashed out. I mean, like I almost crashed out tonight too. The weather is starting to get really, really nice here. So I spend most of my weekend days out on the motorcycle.
Nice
I
weather
come
in
home.
Arizona.
Yeah, I come home and I end up laying down, and 9 o'clock rolls around and I'm like, I just can't get up.
Well, we know what
and
your
anytime I can
priorities
get a
are,
good
so-
night's and anytime I can get a good night's sleep, I take advantage of it because I don't get it a lot during the week. I do the Tuesday night show with Mancuda, which is supposed to only run 2 hours, but Mancuda.
Yeah, I told him we can't go over 4 hours anymore because the because StreamYard cuts off the audio. It doesn't save anything after 4 hours. I'd have to double the subscription to StreamYard, which is double the money to do that.
He always seems so disappointed when you cut him off at 4 hours.
Yeah.
Well, you got to realize he doesn't have much else going on in his world
I
right
know,
now.
that's true.
He's pretty shut down. And Renus is hung asks if I'm letting my hair fly in the wind. How nice of you to notice. It is absolutely all ratty and knotted up today because I feel like I was in a Whitesnake video. It's just, I mean, it looks great. I look like I'm in a bad 80s hair metal band. It's knotted all to hell.
You must have all the products like detangler. And,
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
and
I've
all
got.
kinds of
Trust me.
different
Yeah,
brushes.
I've got my.
I don't deal with that.
I've got my. Who does it? I forget the detangler who does.
What
the
is it?
detangler
Mane and
stuff.
Tail? Isn't that the one that people?
Oh, I don't even know.
Good for horses as well as humans.
Well, that'd be good. I'd love to use that.
Yeah, I think it's called Mane and Tail. Somebody in the chat knows that.
I wouldn't
just
know that.
remember that from actually American Pickers. They were on that History Channel show.
I forget the company that does mine, but it's called the Detangler. I forget the name of the company. It's everybody used to use it back in the day, and then all the salons closed. That's where you could get it. Came in a little white bottle. I forget, but it's great because it no matter how fucked up my hair gets from riding. I mean, I could easily just put four different hair ties in it and just have it braided or whatever. But I'm an idiot. Too lazy to do that, and then realize it's going to suck when I have to brush this thing out tomorrow. It's bad.
Well, consider.
Oh,
the
it's not.
alternative.
Jimmy Ray Hawkins says it's not Soul Glow, although I'd like to let my soul glow. Just let it shine.
Randy Watson.
Randy Watson. Just let your soul glow. Let it shine. Oh no, I can. I've sang that before. It's just let your soul glow. No, not doing that. I feel bad because I have a sneaking suspicion that Coming to America 2 is going to suck.
Oh, a remake? You think a remake's gonna suck?
It's not a remake. It's a sequel.
Well,
it's going to be
more
awful.
or less a remake.
It's going to be
been what,
awful.
30 years? It's been 30 years or what?
There you go, Charlie. Yes, Paul Mitchell. That's the stuff I use. Yeah,
Over 30 years.
It's been almost 40 years.
As opposed to Larry Mitchell, who can play guitar very well. Paul Mitchell untangles my hair. Hail.
Okay.
Tail.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Tony. The Who. Maximum R&B, of course. That's what we present here.
Had a great conversation with somebody about the Who this week about how overlooked that band is.
Apparently, Jay Hannon has no idea who's in the Who.
Really?
He didn't know who the bass player's name was.
Oh, he's only arguably one of the 3 best bass players to ever
Right.
play. Yeah. All right, that's cool.
I'm sure
They are. I mean, but that's a great example of what goes on with the Who. The Who has the indignity of being a band that got overshadowed by 6 other bands who were in their prime. You know, when the Who comes out,
Who was ever overshadowed? You know.
Sure they were. And the Who has been, because their music
selling out stadiums from the beginning of the 70s through the 90s.
Well, the fact of the matter is they have been overshadowed.
But the 60s though.
Oh, well, yeah.
When they first came out, the Beatles and the Stones were bigger than the Who, and then
even the Monkees.
Yeah,
the Monkees are bigger than the Who.
Yeah, they were bigger than just about anybody for a short period of time.
And then you know, the problem with the Who is like every 4th album is great, and the other 3 in between are like self-indulgent, and so American audiences didn't care.
You're right.
And that's
the whole story is
and then in the late 60s, 1970, when Who's Next comes out, it's a great record, but oh boy, here comes Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin. So again, the Who gets stepped on and doesn't get appreciated. And then, of course, Zeppelin and Aerosmith and Sabbath sort of dominate the 70s. Then Van Halen comes out, and every time.
But the Who was there all along, still selling out arenas. I mean,
I understand that.
Soon after Moon died, they were selling out. They were even bigger after Moon, you know, live at least. You know, the 82 tour was comparable to the Stones, where they were selling out every stadium in America.
No, and I totally get that, but they still get they're overshadowed. They're underrated, overshadowed and underrated. Fantastic band. Fantastic band. I mean, the Who and the Kinks.
They were never the number 1. They were at least the number 2, you know, for some period of time. But, you know, yeah, it was someone always overshadowed them. You're right.
Meanwhile, there's an argument to be made that Who's Next is every bit as good as Sgt. Pepper and Van Halen 1 and Hysteria and every great.
Quadrophenia was always my favorite. You know.
Well, that's not the one that everybody loves. Everyone loves Who's Next. True. That's their big popular record. And the argument is valid that there's like one stinker on Who's Next, and the rest of those songs could be on a greatest hits record.
Right.
What's the stinker?
On Who's Next?
I'd have to look at the
I've probably never heard.
I haven't looked at the track list in a while. Paul's got it.
I'll try to find the stinker on the record. It's very difficult to do.
That's the one with Bob O'Reilly is on that. Won't Get Fooled Again.
Baba Booey?
Baba Booey. Baba Papa. Barba Papa.
Baba Papa?
All right, let's try and see if there's a bad
say it in Massachusetts. It's Baba Papa.
Baba Papa. I mean, I love everything on here.
But on the track listing, that's one I love.
It's Baba O'Reilly, which everybody knows is Teenage Wasteland.
Mm-hmm.
Bargain, Love Ain't for Keeping. That's one that probably most people in America don't really know.
I think, I mean, that
Love Ain't for Keeping. My wife. The song is over. Getting in Tune, Going Mobile, Behind Blue Eyes, and Won't Get Fooled Again. I mean, Jesus, everything on that record is
pretty
great.
Much.
It's real difficult to find a stiff on that. I mean, for most Americans, I would say Love Ain't for Keeping and My Wife are the ones that most people in America would say are the weakest songs on that record.
Johnny,
Meanwhile,
do you know those?
No, I've never. I only know all the ones that are from the radio, the ones that we've overheard a billion times.
Right.
Yeah, this record is flawless. I mean, it's a masterpiece.
5 or 6 of those are on the radio around. I mean, those are classic rock hits. I mean,
they're all on the radio all the time.
Behind Blue Eyes, Bob O'Reilly.
Neanderthal is constantly pushing the button to play them.
Right. Yeah, I know.
Paul knows.
I play the shit out of these songs
every day.
I would say the biggest ones on this record for my audience here in Phoenix are certainly Baba O'Reilly, Bargain, and Won't Get Fooled Again.
Right.
But then Jesus, everything on Behind Blue Eyes is a smash.
Absolutely. I
mean, in Boston, we grew up listening to Going Mobile and Getting in Tune. The song is, there isn't a shitty song on this record. Bargain. That's what I'm trying to say. And yet this doesn't get mentioned alongside Sgt. Pepper and some of those other records. as it should. The Who really gets overlooked.
I think sonically the Who were a lot more raw than that. I mean, they really weren't going for that studio trickery. Well, not even trickery, but I mean, they certainly did their overdubs and stuff, but they weren't going for the experimental kind of stuff that Sgt. Pepper and Pet Sounds and the ones that are often quoted as the experimental kind of late 60s albums. And what year was that? Was that like 71? 70.
Yeah. And let's be honest, Pete Townshend's not a great guitar player as a solo player. He's not. That's not what he does. He's arguably one of the greatest songwriters of all time. And I would say up there with Lennon and McCartney and one of those guys. But as a soloist, as somebody that plays solos, there aren't a lot of solos in Who songs, with the exception of the beginning of like Eminence Front and a couple others.
Right.
Yeah,
Noodling.
I've never heard a solo in a Who song.
Mostly noodling.
You know what he's great at?
Yeah, breaking shit,
smashing the guitar.
But he's absolutely a genius when it comes to song construction, and a pioneer with synthesizers in heavy rock, and just a phenomenal play. I mean, again, Pete Townsend had to play the role that Michael Anthony had to play in Van Halen, and that is, if you're in a band with John Entwistle and Keith Moon and Roger Daltrey, at some point somebody has to take a back seat. And to be honest with you, with the exception of his live performances as a player, Pete Townsend. Yeah, Pete Townsend took a back seat to everybody. Entwistle was way up front in the Who.
Absolutely.
Yeah, those bass lines were
live. So there was more bass solos than there were guitar solos. Huh?
Sure.
And drum solos. I mean,
the what?
To that extent,
right, Jay?
Yeah, Jay doesn't even know anything about them, does he?
And throughout the 70s, the Who, all of those synth tracks and everything were all recorded.
Suck it out! What's going on, boys?
It only works if you're in key, Jay. It's got to be in key. Even if it's slowed down, it's in key.
I can't sing, especially when I have to project like that. It hurts. It hurts my delicate vocal cords.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you can't play guitar. Like everybody's, I mean, I totally empathize with David Lee Roth. It's like, okay, you can play drums, you can play bass, you can play guitar. What can you do? I got nothing. Sing.
I got nothing.
I got a PA.
Yeah, I got a PA. Sing.
I got these tight pants.
Yep. if you can sing and dance, you can fake it. You fake your way to the beginning.
No, he did a pretty good job at that. So.
Oh yeah,
he did. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let me share this shit.
Better singer than he gets credit for too, as we were talking about the Who.
When he wants to. When he wants to do it. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly think that's his. It's his. He can do it when he wants to. He just doesn't put the effort in, all the time. He puts the effort in other places,
Well, that's the thing. It's like I'll use to make a hockey analogy. I'll use Luc Robitaille. Luc Robitaille was a great hockey player. He had so much skill and so much ability, but he never put any effort. Never put forth any effort, and so you go, you're only half as good as you could be. I can only imagine if Roth put forward the kind of intense devotion to entertainment and direction and vision with his voice that he did with performing with the band and sort of managing the band and creating an image around the band. If he had done that for his voice, he might have been. Look, Roger Daltrey is not a great technical singer, but he's a great singer because he puts everything into it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, there's a John BL. Oh my God, that's amazing.
There's all of them, Jay. You're on there too, man.
Oh, that's the
Jay
shit. How do we do this? How do we do it?
You got channel members can only do it.
Oh, well,
You're not allowed.
And me.
Unless you want to pay for it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it is great.
Thank you, Cobra Kai Platoon. Thank you.
Yeah.
The unofficial artist of the Johnny
Yeah.
Beane Network.
Well,
Yeah.
didn't Campbell say about Roth, like before they were recorded the first album, like Roth busted his ass to improve vocally.
Well, it's because Templeman told him he sucked.
Yeah, and but that's the thing. Like, at least he went and said, "All right, well, I can't sing and dance on a record, or I can't dance and do all the other extra stuff on the record. I got to be good on the record when I go play live." That's the thing. If I went and saw Van Halen back in 1981 or something, just throwing it out there, and I had two options, like Roth can either kind of stand on stage, maybe walk a little bit, maybe shake his ass a little bit, but sing really well, or do his shtick and just do it how he did it. I would rather have that. I want to see Roth be Roth on stage. You know,
there are very few guys that can do both. Like there are guys like Angus Young can put on a great live show and still play.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Not many people can do both. Can be that visual and that athletic on stage and be, you know, so talented on their instrument. So, you know,
well,
those guys are fewer and far between. You got to make a choice when you're in a live environment.
and I think the way he was on stage back when he was younger, it kind of helped the image.
He was always
almost
young.
being like that, like having that I don't give a
Angus?
fuck attitude. You know what I mean? I think it kind of helped the image.
Yeah.
What's
Hey.
up, man?
Hey, Caleb.
Hey,
Hey,
Caleb.
everybody. I'm coming in totally blind. I have no idea what you're talking about.
We were just talking about how
How
singing,
Nerd Halen.
how Jay can't sing because he can't project.
Well, I came in yelling "sucking on"
Sucking on.
and
He doesn't want
instantly
the effort.
Paul's like, "Oh, out of key."
I said, no, as long as you can be in key, you're good.
Well, Jay,
Unless you're Roth. Unless you're Roth. Roth can be out of key and make it work.
Yeah, I don't have the charisma that Roth had.
Jay,
Yeah,
I watched your video last night. That was great stuff. I mean, I didn't know how to put it into words, but it was really just a great concept video, a great song. All of it was really cool.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
man,
Man.
it was good. I
Was
I
it-
was really impressed. So I mean, not that I know
Not,
what to
not that we
expect
thought
from
you sucked, but you know,
I know what to expect from you from Gizmochi. I've heard a lot of that stuff, but it's
Thank you, Salami.
that was really cool. I like that.
Black Salami loves wasting his time. I guess.
Look at that.
that's not fair.
How could this be a waste of time with that face?
Game over.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, that's the cutest thing in the world.
He looks like,
Thumbnail.
The
What's
eyes,
the-
man. Oh,
what was the thing that was in Battlestar Galactica? That's what he looks like.
yeah.
Twiggy.
No, that was the robot.
It was the dog, the pet dog of the young kid.
Daggett. Oh, yeah, puppy.
Yeah.
Does he have the puppy breath?
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, he's the most. It's
Oh my goodness.
a lot of love going on over here.
That is so
You want to
cute.
say hi to the
Oh
world?
my god,
Say hi, Bugs.
Bugsy.
Hello. Hello, Bugs.
Caleb's gonna be isolated the whole show.
Hi, everybody.
Dog in here. I
You
can't
want to
do
get
it.
some likes? There you go.
Oh, leave some thumbs ups.
Yeah. Come
It's
on.
worth it right there.
How often do we have this? I mean, I know we have Paul's dogs, but
No, my dogs are chill tonight.
And
I've
Ned.
Ace is in his crate. He's being
Jay, how
Paul,
come we never see your pets?
Paul put all his socks away. The dogs aren't interested.
Jay, how come
Ew.
we never see your pets?
Mine?
Yeah.
I know.
Let me grab one.
Jay and I were talking one day, and he's like, "You know my cat?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't know you had a cat."
Yeah. You talk about dogs. You got a dog at
With
least a
one
couple
eye and a
dogs,
broken
man.
foot.
That's awesome.
Stop beating your cat, Jay.
Oh God, I've never. I have two dogs, but they well, they're sleeping now, but they don't come up here very often. So I gotta
Maybe
pee.
someday.
Look, I don't know why it is, but the chat seems to be preoccupied with the fact that today is Neil Schoen's birthday. So congratulations. Happy birthday, Neil.
Yeah. And thank you,
Sup-
Sherman.
Super underrated guitar player.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's underrated.
Yeah, he chokes out some sick notes in all those Journey songs. That's the thing that
And-
Journey had.
And
Oh yeah, absolutely.
tunes.
Yeah, he can write
Where's
songs.
the song?
See?
Oh, actually, Jonathan Cain writes most of the songs, but yeah, I mean that Journey has the magic thing that Van Halen had, which is they write songs and AC/DC, which is they write songs women can dance to, and they're just rocking enough for guys to fucking shred to, and that's Neil Schon. Neil's guitar playing is stunning in a lot of those Journey tracks.
Definitely.
Pete Townsend. There you go.
Pete Townsend, yeah.
Caleb's a Who fan, right? You saw the Who back in the day.
Oh my God, I was a Who fan before I was a Van Halen fan.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, we were just
And,
talking
you know,
about it a little
I
bit.
just realized, I think, where I first like discovered like what a guitar was, and saw somebody that I thought was playing it really well, and it was Roy Clark.
Oh yeah, hee haw.
Mhm.
Yeah, hee haw, exactly. That's where I was like, that's a guitar, and
When
that's a
Roy
guitar player.
when Roy
He's-
Clark and Buck Owens would jam together on hee haw.
Oh
Hell
my
yeah.
God! I saw some clips of Roy Clark today, and it's just
Did you ever
stupid.
see him play on The Odd Couple?
Yes.
He'd just show up with the guitar in his hand at their house.
No, he's a guitar hero. He needs to be in those top 20s. I mean, he's
Hell yeah.
he's that great, and
He needs a
inspired
Floyd
a lot.
Rose.
He was very inspirational in the 70s
You
because
know
of
who
hee-haw.
else? You know who else can play who in that same genre? Glenn Campbell.
Right.
Shockingly, Glenn Campbell. This is one of the stories that Alice Cooper told us when we were talking about when Eddie passed. Eddie and Alice Cooper golfed together here in Phoenix one time, and the whole point of the golf trip for Eddie was to try and get a guitar lesson from Glenn Campbell. Alice was saying, he said the whole time during the thing, he was like, "Hey, can you introduce me to Glenn Campbell? Can you introduce me?" Like Eddie was he wanted to learn how to, to sit down and play with Glenn Campbell.
I thought it was
country
Glenn
guys.
Fry.
No,
Okay.
that's a great story. When Alice Cooper tells the story, you just kind of go, okay.
Right.
Maybe Alice got it wrong.
Maybe. Well, I don't know about that. Alice might cheat at golf, but he doesn't get his stories wrong.
All right. Here's another thing I remembered from last week, and I wasn't here, but I wanted to say, I believe that Edward Van Halen sold his soul to the devil, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, here we go. He knows the
That-
date and time.
that board tape from that ballroom gig in '76. Where was that?
Golden West.
John Biel.
Yeah, the Golden West at
The
was it
Golden
Norwalk,
West
California?
Ballroom, okay. We heard his solo from that show, and it's everything but the tapping. Okay, so
Yeah.
that means in just a year's time, he learned to do what he did to perform it on Eruption and all the songs on Van Halen 1 in just a year's time. To
That
me,
would be this show.
Yeah, to me, that's the most incredible feat of his lifetime, because that technique is not something you just pick up. It's something that you work on, and I'd love to know the amount of hours he played from 1976 to 1977, because I can't imagine him not having any time to do anything else but tap and come up with that style, put it in all his solos, put it, filter it all through his playing. That's incredible to me. I just try to wrap my mind around that he's playing there in that 76 tape, and then a year later he's in Sunset Sound in October doing Eruption. Now, just think about that literally just a few hundred days. I mean, come on.
I always thought Eruption was written around the tapping, but you're right. When you listen to that, the concept came first, or the song came first, but then he could even make it better. Like
If you listen to a lot of the early shows, and again, that Golden West Ballroom is a great example of that. When they were a covers band, there wasn't a whole lot of tapping in the covers. The covers were played relatively, along, true to the form of the actual song, the original song. They tried to get it right. There wasn't a whole lot of experimentation in the early days. And yeah, it did come a little bit later. And I guess that's that whole, when you hear them in their interviews say, hey, we used to do these covers and we'd play several sets at night. And as the set, we go into the second or third set of the night, we'd start getting bored playing the same songs 2 or 3 times. So we'd start making them our own.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that might have been where he started incorporating that stuff. And as we've heard, Ed used to do the solo with his back facing the audience. Maybe that was, a little bit of stage fright by his own admission. and B, maybe a little bit of
No, that was his
lack of-
brother saying, "Don't show that."
yeah, but
what
Ed
we
also
do.
said, I've always had stage fright. I've never wanted to go. I never really liked going on stage. That's part of the reason why he drank. That was his
Right,
excuse.
he would turn his back when he did that technique, and that was
Right.
because Alex said, "Do not show
Don't
that,
give it away.
until we have a deal." So,
Somebody
yeah,
brought up Legba. He done changed his name to Scratch.
yeah, I mean, he could have been working on it before 76, but if you listen to the 76 ballroom tape,
Mhm.
there's
I
no
think
tapping.
There's
Why wouldn't
Go
he
ahead.
use it in parts of the set? Like, he just wasn't using it. That means it wasn't really there yet at all. So
I think around
for
that
him to
time there's
develop-
enough live.
But you'll
work
notice,
to-
sorry, John Bill, but you'll notice there's no tapping, but his playing is even faster.
yes,
It's insane how fast he is on that.
right. Yes,
I think you
he's-
can probably chronologically with the bootlegs that are out there from 76 through 77, you can probably pinpoint, the progression of that. I mean, there's a scattered amount throughout 76 and 77 into 78, but I think, like what Caleb's talking about, the progression of that, there might be evidence of that we could really, you'd have to sift through all those tapes, but they're all the Pasadena stuff from 77, the ballroom stuff throughout, the high school stuff from 75, 76 into
Wait,
77.
so who's listening?
It's all
to the-
quality stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who's listened to the Gene Simmons demo recently?
Not recently.
I listened to it quite a bit. I mean, I've got everything on
Yeah.
shuffle. So yeah,
There's tapping on there, right?
some of it. Yeah.
And was
And that's
There, you don't know how much. I mean, some of the. I don't know if all the Gene Simmons stuff is in one collection. So I don't know if there's some of the stuff. Some takes are mixed in. You know what I mean?
is that Complete Zero? Is that the same?
That's usually this. That's
was
considered
the-
that. And there's another one too that they call it Zero Demos. I think.
yeah.
There's two different versions.
So I mean, he could have done a thing where if it was a really big crowd, he would lose the tapping or something. And he would do the math on that, because if there's tapping on the Gene Simmons demos, that's right around, right before they did the Gene Simmons thing.
Let's
So-
also
people would hear the demos too. Fewer people would hear the demos, so you could feel safe putting it on them.
There's also, I think there's another thing you should keep in mind, or we should keep in mind, and that is, Ed began as a drummer, and a lot like Steven Tyler and some of these other guys, that sense of rhythm that we all recognize in his rhythm playing also factors into tapping, which is a percussive thing. So I'm sure Ed, like most of us, as being desk
Even
drummers
piano.
or whatever it is, yeah, and even the piano. So there's a percussive thing there and a rhythmic thing there that I think a timing thing that only a drummer has. If as a guitar player, what your drummer's supposed to be doing in a song. I don't know. And I did it as a singer. I'd be up front and I knew that Wayno was behind me and I knew his drum lines. I heard them so many times. I knew where they were supposed to be, and damned if I knew if he missed a beat or was even a little bit off in his groove. Because Eddie is a drummer and he has that rhythm, that sense of rhythm to him, that also comes in. Drummers can tap out a beat on a desk much better than a guitar player can, just a true guitar player. I guarantee you that anybody that has experience playing drums on this show versus guys who are just pure guitar players, if we all sat down and tried to tap out a beat, the guitar players would flame out before everybody else.
Oh,
Because
Who has drumsticks? That'll show.
the trill tapping is a rhythmic thing.
Right.
You can hear it on the fretboard.
Yes.
You can hear your fingers hitting the fretboard in a rhythmic sequence.
But
So-
that's a timing thing that a lot of guitar players, you've seen guitar players, Caleb, I'm sure, when you were going to school, where they'd be playing and your teacher would ask you to take your foot and tap it as a metronome to count 4. And guitar players, when they get in their groove, they can't do both. They can either focus on their playing or they focus on the rhythm. But to have both, to have that synchronicity in their body is a difficult thing to do unless you're somebody that is gifted with that natural sense of rhythm, which we all know Eddie had. And Nuno has it as well. And Paul Gilbert has it. There are certain guitar players in Kotzen, certain players that have that.
What two guitar players have it?
Yeah, Eddie and Nuno. Yes.
Oh my god.
I don't know who that goof is in the middle, but he's ruining the picture. So there's, I mean, so that's the thing that I think that gets overlooked with Eddie is that, and we all talk about this. We all know his rhythm playing is really what made him exceptional. That and the songs.
Oh yeah. I mean, his right hand and his palm muting, I think, is what made him exceptional. That he created that sound.
Yeah.
And it's funny because all guitar players after him get compared. He didn't get compared to anybody because he didn't sound like anybody.
Right.
He came out and
he did take from a lot of guys though.
Sure.
Joe Walsh, Billy Gibbons, like
if you listen to those covers from the 70s, he was nailing those styles note for note. And that's what Michael Anthony is the first thing he said he remembered about Eddie Van Halen was seeing him play these covers, and him and his brother, and they were note for note, both of them. Like that was their niche. Like they were the guys that played the covers the best. Like they played Montrose songs and they played Black Sabbath songs and Zeppelin songs to the bone, like right it sounded like that. And but then he had his own thing. And
listen to the end of Mean Street where Eddie is laying into his bar, the bar dives and stuff at the end of Mean Street at that solo that's fading out, and then listen to the end of Walk Away from the James Gang. I mean, it's completely lifted from Joe Walsh. Joe Walsh did that first. Then you listen to the chicken picking beginning part of Hot for Teacher, and it's Billy Gibbons from LaGrange. I mean, he grabbed from guys who, by the way, we always bring out when we talk about great guitar players. We talk about guys that don't get the kind of credit they deserve, the Joe Walshes and the Mark Knopflers and the Billy Gibbons.
How about the Tom Scholes pick slides?
Right, exactly.
Tom Scholes did the pick slides better than anybody, and then Eddie took that to a new level. So
he was the ultimate thief in a good way, by the way. And he took a little of this, mix it all up. Blah, my thing. And he did it all. He did it all phenomenal.
And he had his classical training behind it.
Yep.
And the ability to play drums behind it.
Yep.
And perfect timing behind it. And
Eddie probably would have been a phenomenal drummer. We talk about how Wolfgang's first primary instrument is drums. Well, it kind of makes sense. Just listen to the beginning of Mean Street. That thing is that's a drum thing. That's not a guitar thing. That's a drum thing. Yeah, he's doing patterns on the guitar neck that guitar players, all those shredders, that's what they miss. They miss the groove. Yngwie misses the groove. He can't groove worth a shit. A lot of those shredders who can play don't have the groove. Becker had the groove. Nuno has the groove. Paul Gilbert has the groove. There you go, Johnny. Nothing.
I've got pictures with Becker too.
But that's my point, is the guys that we all love so much all have the same thing in common, which is that rhythm, that groove, that right hand, that sense of timing, that swing, to use a drummer's term, that puts them in a league of their own, in a category that other guitar players, their peers, just don't have. They're great in their own right. Jimmy Page is great in his own right. Hendrix is great in his own right, but they don't have the same swing and groove that guys like Eddie and Nuno have. They just don't. It's different. It's a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, Hendrix didn't make it look easy.
No.
And Page never made it look easy.
Mm-hmm.
But
they were struggling with it.
But Nuno and Eddie.
Oh yeah.
And
Vi. It's frustrating to watch those guys play.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, Vi. It's painful to watch.
Yeah. It's frustrating. Even guys that can play guitar to varying levels. Whether it's somebody that that is more schooled than the rest of us, or the rest of us who are just hacks. When you see a guy like that who has such mastery of the instrument, when you see a guy like Josh Jones pick up a guitar and you go, Jesus, why? Why does he get that? And I, who want it so much, I want it so much, and I practice and I try, and it just doesn't click for me. But a guy like that, when you see it, it's the it, and you know it when you see it.
Well,
and
there's that that thing we talked about on the show, the guys that make you want to quit.
Yeah.
When I first saw Josh Jones, I mean, I didn't want to quit. I was stoked. I was like, there he is.
Yep.
There he is. You know,
next generation.
When are we going to find somebody like that? And then there he is.
Yeah.
So I'm happy, and I like the kid a lot. And
I do too.
But he didn't make me want to quit. You know, like McRocklin or something. You're like, fuck, dude, what is that? Like, it's insane. You know. So
I mean, you're always, and thrash metal brings up a good point. If you want to play guitar, learn drums. He's right. It is the rhythm. It's the swing. It's the rhythm. It's the groove. The guys that have that. I mean, look, you don't have to be a rhythmic player. I mean, look, guys like Dave Gilmour are not rhythmic players, and they're phenomenal. But if you want to be a guitar player that plays that fast and is able to insert notes in places that make it really impressive and sort of shred, yes, having rhythm, a good sense of rhythm and timing, I think is essential. And if you don't have that, you're not going to be good. I think you should learn rhythm. It's the most important part.
What Johnny was talking about with Eddie, you know, in the mid 70s being faster than he ever was. I look at that like a baby rattlesnake is much more deadly
than Scorpion,
than a grown up rattlesnake.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like the young ones have the killer venom, and I think that's when you're
nothing to lose, nothing to fear.
Old, there's a different kind of energy in your body than
what are you guys talking about? Rattlesnakes now?
Yeah. Well, that's why Eddie started using the tremolo bar, was to slow himself down.
And whammy pedal and the pedal.
Mm-hmm. But that's why he started doing all the whammy stuff, was to slow down his playing because he said he got too fast. And it was too much.
And it's interesting too, because when you get older, you learn this. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. And a badass doesn't have to prove that they're a badass. And some of those guys, fudge stripes. Fudge stripes are the truth.
These I told Jeannie, I was like, you realize if I bring these upstairs, they're not coming back down.
Oh no, fudge stripes are the truth. Hell yeah.
Done.
Jesus. But when you get older, you realize, and Eddie was a great example of that. He's like, I can do that. You know, him, Eddie, Vi, Nuno, all those guys can go out on stage and just sort of stand there and wait for their moment. Like Zakk Wylde plays way too fast, way too often. He's awesome. I love him. But Jesus, man, we get it. You can play.
What could have been if he didn't wreck the Shark? Right? Like if he didn't wreck that guitar, that might have been his number one.
Maybe.
Do you know?
Which one?
What you say without a tremolo, he would have been completely a different.
Well, half Van Halen 1 is on that guitar,
right?
So, and then he wrecked it.
He might have been Angus. Angus doesn't use a tremolo at all.
Things could have taken a different turn if he didn't destroy that particular guitar, which had that tone.
Right.
He just had it. So
I don't think it would have been what it is, the way it ended up without the whammy bar stuff, because there was so much more stuff that he did with that.
Yeah. He always used every tool at his disposal. I mean, as soon as he could get the latest thing, he got into effects, when they were coming at the late 70s and 80s, when he would, start with the flanger and the phaser and stuff like that. Right when it was.
But him wrecking that guitar created a whole different path.
What's interesting is there were a lot. If you look at the guitar players before Eddie that were his peers, not peers, but that were way above him, the Tom Schultzes and the Joe Perrys and the Joe Walshes and all those guys, before Eddie, none of them used a whammy bar ever. And then after Eddie, you started to hear it. You started to see guys on stage with suddenly they're starting to use that bar a little bit more because suddenly people went, oh, we can actually, instead of sliding up the fret to get to notes, we can bend to get to notes and get those in between tones, and almost like a violin, almost like, somebody that's playing, you can get those semitones in there that is not so rigid. I mean, let's face it, the guitar, you step up the neck and it's rigid. Step, whole, half, that kind of shit. But with the bar, all of a sudden, now you're going into different territories and creating a voice that I think a lot of guys before Eddie didn't use, and a lot of guys after Eddie certainly did. So again, there's the ripple effect.
Who were the guitar heroes in the 70s that would use the tremolo a lot? I mean, I'm thinking of
Joe Walsh,
Blackmore.
Beck.
Yeah.
Blackmore, Walsh,
Clapton. Hendrix.
There you go.
Yeah.
But all legendary names.
Right.
But then after that, after Eddie comes up, everyone started using them. Everyone started leaning on that bar a little bit more.
Well, and
Ed helped to perfect
the engineer part of Eddie Van Halen was he was able to keep that guitar in tune, and those other guys couldn't do what he was doing and keep it in tune, like especially like Hendrix. And Hendrix would kill his tremolo.
Well, that's a strength thing. Again, it's all about the touch.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to when you lean on a bar, you don't have to beat the shit out of the bar like Vi does. Vi, is an anomaly. Vi will punch the guitar while holding the bar, and it stays in tune because God love Ibanez for putting together a stable tuning system. But most of those guys, when they leaned in they were wrestling the guitar, whereas Eddie wasn't wrestling the guitar; he was touching it. It was delicate. Well, again, actually, there's a delicacy there.
He was
dive bombing on the black and white with the Fender with the non-locking tremolo. He was always, and Hendrix was too. Hendrix always started the dive bombs.
Yeah, but Hendrix wrestled the shit out of it.
Oh yeah,
that's why he would switch.
He wasn't there in the 60s.
Yeah,
that's why after Eruption he switched to the Shark.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. How does he do that?
Yeah. How does he keep it in
Show us the different techniques.
I don't know. And then he would pull it up. And he'd have the brass nut, and this is probably way out of tune after that. Let's see. Little sharp. But I mean, this is actually
play Eruption.
Pretty
also
good.
tuning down a half step doesn't hurt either.
Yeah. I'm just gonna give
gives a little wiggle room, no pun intended.
Eruption. It's in like E flat. Something like that.
Yeah, it's an interesting. AI Gaming brings up a good point. If you've ever watched some of the videos of Hendrix while he's playing, he'd be in the middle of playing a phrase, and while Mitch Mitchell would do a drum fill, Hendrix would tune while he was playing. He would. I mean, it's like, there's that next level thing
there's that myth or possibility of truth that, and I've heard this, that Eddie's fingers were so strong that he would tune the guitar on the fretboard.
Just pull it into tune.
Yes.
People did that. Yeah, some blues guitar players are like that. Yeah, there were some guys that if you're out of pitch, you just bend to it.
Yes. Yeah. And I have a story to that. I was at Pat Wilkins' shop, and he's the guy that painted the Red Cloud Ripley. And he painted, paints a lot of guitars for Tom Anderson. And in the late in the year 2000, the Frankenstein was sent to Tom Anderson, and Tom Anderson put that neck on it.
85.
What's that?
Which
80,
neck?
that was an 85, I think.
Right.
The Kramer.
My buddy is the one that put that on.
Right. And then a few years later, the story is that Eddie brought 5150 to Tom Anderson to his shop because it wouldn't stay in tune.
He brought it right there to his shop.
Right. And
variety of tunes.
Tom Anderson said
a number of people
that the guitar would not ever stay in tune. And he said that it must have been that way for a long time, which meant that Eddie was tuning on the fretboard, which is insane.
How would you tune on the fretboard on the late version Frankenstein or the 5150?
What?
Is that what you were saying?
You're tuning by altering the angle, your fingers.
All right. So by I was thinking you were
making
talking about the nut,
chord.
like by pulling it hard enough to
He's
pull the
making
string
the
up.
chord
Okay,
ring true
Yeah,
just
that's
by
crazy.
moving his fingers on
That's
each
crazy,
string.
yeah.
It's crazy.
That's unbelievable.
And that's a big reason also why he'd use 2 and 3 strings all the time, was because the guitar wasn't staying in tune. Like, he wrote a lot of those songs. This is my theory. Wrote a lot of those songs with those 2 and 3 note phrasings that he used, these little cheat chords that he made up, because I bet the rest of the guitar wasn't there for him.
Well, I think you guys have probably done this, where you're sitting down and you're trying to dissect a Van Halen record, and you've got your guitar tuned a half step down, and you're playing the phrase, and you're playing it where Eddie plays it on the neck, and it doesn't seem right. You're like, I'm not in tune. What the fuck? And you retune. And again, his ear, whatever that note is, that little bend, that little flutter, almost like with B.B. King, the butterfly vibrato, that certain level of vibrato is when they talk about it's in the fingers, that's what they're talking about. Is a guy can play a scale on a neck. The 5 of us could all play the same scale, and I bet it sounds different for a couple of us because of the way we fret the notes, how much pressure we put, where we hear the note in the scale, our natural inclination to bend, things like that. And I think that that's part of what Eddie did as well, to a lesser, to a more exaggerated degree, when you're talking about the guitar won't stay in tune, but he knows where the note is. And he knows that if he's there on that fret, that's the note that's supposed to be there. If I don't hear it, I'm going to make it.
Yep.
And again, that's that's that next level that you can't teach. You either have that or you don't. And that's why I can't play like Josh Jones. I can find it, I can see it, I can execute it, but it doesn't come out the same way because I don't have that it. As a singer, I have a different set of skills, a particular set of skills. I have a different set of skills and a different set of rhythm. But that's something that I can do that none of my guitar players could do, or our guitar players. I never say my, but our guitar players could do. They had a set of skills that I couldn't, and so you create that chemistry. Your shit plays off, and this goes back to Dave and Eddie. Your shit, your strengths play off of the strengths of the other person and create a bigger sum of the total parts. And that's chemistry.
Yeah. Another thing about Josh Jones is when you watch him play, you're like, oh my God, what, he has his, he does, a step and a half bends,
Yeah.
Yeah. And it looks like he's jerking the neck too. It's like his bends are weird.
But here's what makes your head explode. He uses tens.
Yeah.
And tune standard?
I don't know.
I think he's down. down.
Oh, well then
Yeah.
tens half, even if he's a half step down, it's like nines.
I hear him in D a lot too. I mean, he's got different guitars.
Yeah.
That D, as we all know, the younger kids like it heavier. That one step down makes it sound significantly heavier. We hear it in all the Van Halen stuff.
But what's ironic, not ironic, but what's cool about that too? I was talking to one of my other heavy metal buddies. Like when Metallica, for instance, right? Somewhere along the Black Album tour, they started tuning a half step down for any of their stuff that was tuned standard, which most of their music was tuned standard. And God, I hate when I'm isolated like this and I'm talking, especially eating cookies.
Yeah. By the way, Cobra Kai Platoon brought up a good point. I think he said it was Eddie. He said Eddie never had fudge stripes. It's a good point.
Okay, so
you can't compete with that.
For some reason, you could take a song. Let's just say Enter Sandman, right?
Enter Sandman, right?
When you watch them in the early Black Album tour play that song in standard E, and then compare it to when they started tuning a half step down, the standard tuning is heavier.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the weirdest thing. Like you could play, like, think of some of those riffs on, Master of Puppets and Justice for All. It's an E. Right. It's like, and those riffs are like some of the heaviest riffs, Another good example of that is Mouth for War from Pantera. When you hear that song, you're like, that's got to be tuned down. It's so heavy. It's in standard tuning. It's friggin'. It sounds like it's the heaviest shit ever. It's standard tune. It's like, damn. And when I play, it doesn't sound that heavy. So there goes the hands.
It's in the fingers.
In the fingers. And the picking hand as well. Everybody picks in a different area of the string, different angles, different, aggressiveness and stuff like that.
Amazing.
Am I the only one here?
Well, that's what I think. I think that's why.
Looking at everybody sitting there, I'm like, shit.
No, I think that's why guys like Zach Wilde practice on acoustic still, because with an acoustic, I mean, it's your touch that brings out the heaviness. Guys can play an acoustic guitar and sound light. They can sound bluesy. They can sound heavy. They can sound, darker as far as like a Jerry Cantrell. When Jerry Cantrell plays that guitar line to Over Now, you're like, oh, you know what I mean? Even though it's on an acoustic, it's phenomenally heavy because of the touch. And I think that the guitar, when it's all said and done, even though it's a stringed instrument, even though it's an amplified instrument, especially electric, obviously, it's still an acoustic instrument, and how you massage it is going to dictate how it responds.
Have my dictate.
Dictate.
Yeah. So who said it? It's in the palm mute, KXM Rock, and it's true because for me, I'm as far back to the trem or the. Is that even what the hell is going on here? I know you can't kind of see the going the wrong way here, but. So, and that's where I kind of pick right between, and then like my drummer, who obviously is not a guitar player, if he would have palm mute,
Obviously.
he's got these real fat palms too, drummer. But ham hocks, I call them. But it sounds like he actually palm mutes closer or farther away from the bridge, so it's kind of like choked palm mutes, it almost like tunes it up. Listen to that. And you're not actually bending any notes. You're not pushing any harder down here. All you have to do is literally move your palm up.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of cool. It's like almost gets to like that half step. Pretty cool.
I mean, it's the intro to Don't Tell Me.
Well, that's in D. Drop D.
I know,
right?
but it's still wherever you move that pick, wherever you're attacking it on the string is going to change the tone. Obviously, proximity to the pickups.
Mm-hmm. Jay, whatever happened with that Ernie Ball guitar?
I had 2 in a row, and both of them. All you had to do was hit the low B, and everybody's going to say, "Oh, it was the nut." It wasn't the nut.
Wait, so the blue one came? And
blue one came. It was worse.
Holy shit!
Yep. Wow. It's not a double locking guitar, bro.
Deal with it, bro.
Dumbo locking.
Bro.
Dumbo lock.
Wow.
Jumbo.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like I said, the angle of the pick. I kind of sometimes when I pick, my thumb is up like that, almost like Hetfield. It allows me to kind of dig the shit out of the string instead of wait, go back. Yeah,
I hate when I'm isolated like this.
Yeah. So my other guitar player, Mike. Sorry, our other guitar player, Paul. There you go. You taught me a lesson.
I just hate that. I've always hated that.
Yeah, I don't like me either. But,
yeah.
Like he has his thumb kind of like this, and he has his index finger kind of like that. So his pick angle is a lot different than mine, and obviously where he picks the string, the where on the more this way or more that way. Whereas me, my thumb is kind of bent, and I'm kind of. That's why the Swiss picks don't really work for me, because a lot of times
don't say that. Don't say that.
That's me. I'm not gonna. Whatever.
Man, Kuda just rolled over, man.
Oh, I know. No, it's not like they're great picks. It's just the hole. I need a hole closer to the front of the pick because I pick very near the front.
Well, where are the holes?
I hold the pick very close to the tip. You know,
Just the tip.
Yeah, see, I need that hole moved towards the. See, I need the Jay Hannon custom guitar pick.
Custom Swiss pick.
we
See
should
that
get.
little hole is, Johnny, or the
we
one
could-
closest to
We
the
could
middle.
probably get Pete. Does Pete even watch this?
You get the
Are there
get the
very-
Jay Hannon pattern.
Or are the holes all
There we
the
go.
same on every Swiss pick?
They're the same on every pick.
Yeah, it's punch. The punch is set.
They're
The die is
strategic.
set to be that
They're
way. Yeah.
strategic then.
Yeah, no, and it's probably for people who pick normally, but you know, I hold my picks a little different.
Jay's
That's
little-
funny. I never even considered how I held my pick until you just said that. And
Really?
I'm like, yeah, I don't think about how I
hold
Who
mine
else?
like this.
I
Well,
smothered
else
the
the
shit out of it.
That's how I could actually play like that.
Does anyone else
Yeah.
do the Edward, the 3-finger, with the
Yeah.
index on the
Yeah,
top?
that's how I'm like that.
That's normal.
That's how I learned. Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost
read
made
that
a fist.
Guitar World years ago, and that's kind of just when I was first learning how to play, and it's the
This is how I hold it.
fingers and the.
Yes, yeah.
You're like off side of the pick. Wow, that's
How about-
great.
how about
Yeah,
the
that's
Kirk
great.
I'm a
Hammett?
3-finger guy. I
How
do
about the
that.
Kirk Hammett?
I do that. It's like a 3-finger.
Kirk Hammett.
What are you doing? What are you doing, John? Who's that
That's
for?
Kirk
You
Hammett.
don't do
right?
you don't do the 5-finger?
No, it's a weird. It's just a weird. That's a weird way.
If you
that's
watch
how I
Kirk
hold it.
Hammett, that's how he plays.
I
half
don't
the
do
time. He's
this.
playing with his
I
middle
don't. I don't do this.
To me,
I
that's
do
the most comfortable, which is the Eddie
Same
way.
here. Yeah, same here.
When I read him doing that, I tried it,
Yep.
and I've been that since I was 12 years old. It's been the same, right, Amanda?
You gotta grab a
5.
guitar, Johnny, because we're all holding guitars. So.
Oh,
I'm trying to play the blackened riff like Eddie holds his pick, and man, it's weird. It's weird to be able to do it like that.
But I think you guys. Somebody brought this up earlier. How many people practice on an unplugged electric?
Only when I
mean-
want to realize how bad I
Me.
suck.
I
do it
never
all the
plug
A lot
in.
of people do. Yeah.
I never
Hey,
plug in.
And that's where you'll find you'll get the different tones, because that's where you find yourself experimenting with your fingers. You know where you're going to pick up and down the neck.
That's
You get a much fuller sound up towards the neck and a more twangy sound. Like
That's where
Again,
you hear the
going back
stories of guitar players always walking around the house with a guitar on. You know, it's like you're not always plugged in. You just always have a guitar in your hand. Usually they're not playing acoustic. Ed, I think the stories of Ed was like that. Jimi Hendrix, I know, had a lot. Would always have a guitar in his hand.
one of the
Well,
guitar
your left hand gets well, everything it will improve because you're, obviously distortion and delay and chorus, all that stuff hides the little minute flaws.
Reverb.
It kind of helps, like it covers them up.
Well, and that's why, again, going back to Zach Wilde, as much as I want to goof on him for being a guy that plays so intensely so much, he's cleaner as a picker because he practices with an acoustic. He's better with an acoustic than he is with an electric in his hands. It improves, and I think Nuno did it too. I think you spend all your time practicing on an acoustic, and it really exposes your technical flaws. You got to get it right on an acoustic, because distortion and all that shit and chorus and all that,
It
just like
makes you stronger too.
yeah.
Your left fingers get jacked.
Yeah, and I mean he's well. Zach is yoked anyway, man. Totally, man. How much you bench?
Don't forget his Hello Kitty face too.
And by the way, I love Zach as a player, but he just slow down.
Spends too much time in the gym.
He's so fast, so often.
Podcast.
Yep.
This is the time in the night when the band.
Oh,
Likes to have a little drink.
John Biel, we didn't say who's in the chat. We got 111 watching.
Wow.
Well,
We didn't even say that we
Why
have
don't we do
Facebook
that?
stars.
maybe we could do that.
Somebody said, how does Petrucci's guitars stay in tune and mine don't? Or mine didn't? I don't know.
Oh,
We'll ask him next year at NAMM.
Yeah. I mean, every one of my Ibanez guitars, I could literally not touch it for 6 months and I'd pick it up and it would be in tune. And I could beat the shit out of the whammy bar, do all this, you get wanking, and they stay in tune. I could barely touch the whammy bar on that friggin' guitar.
Ibanez does make a good guitar for all the things people want to clown them for. They make a great guitar. The Japanese ones, anyway.
Yeah, Japanese ones.
Real quick.
Don't forget the Shark was an Ibanez, right?
Yes.
Ibanez Destroyer.
I might be on a show soon with Tom Weber.
Oh hell yeah!
I just want to get as many questions as I can for him, and I was going to put it out there to the chat, to you guys. What would you ask Eddie's guitar tech?
Oh my god!
You know, because there's all those little things, and
Yeah,
and
right.
there's things that he wouldn't talk about while Eddie was here, but he's not. So there's things that he might divulge now because he did it the other day on that show with Jeremy White and Mitch LaFawn. So
That story went viral, huh?
Ooh, that was a quick orange change color there, Johnny.
Thank you. 2 brain cells.
nice, 2 brain cells.
Thank you so much. That covers next month of StreamYard. Thank you, man.
Right? That's in tune for an Ibanez. No, I'm joking. Hey, look, it matches the super chat.
There you go.
Hey, my guitar changes color every time Johnny gets a super chat.
Matches the sound machine too.
Wait, is anybody who are any of the super chats purple?
I think so, right?
Come on, somebody do a purple.
I
super
forget.
chat, and I'll change the
He
color
has
of
a
the guitar.
color for every super chat.
Let me see.
If I had all my guitars out, I could do the same thing. Grab the purple EBMM.
Blue. Oh, let me see. Okay, there's
$1,000 one. Okay, donate 1,000.
there's blue, green, orange, yellow, orange, red.
Jay, you got green covered, right? No, you got
Well,
No,
I have like the same kind of guitar. in
mag.
purple.
What's it? Mag.
magenta.
Magenta. There's magenta
That's
and then
it.
red.
Magenta.
Anything over $100 is red. It
All right,
goes up-
somebody get magenta in there.
Wow.
You can go up to $500.
You can go up to $500,
Feel free to go up to 500.
and that's when Johnny splits it with the cast of the show. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
Wrong one.
Yeah, I was gonna say if somebody does magenta, you gotta never mind.
Yeah.
COVID. Put
Right?
that up, John. I don't think Tom Weber knows where James and Stuff guy is.
He wasn't with them at that point, was he?
No, he wasn't.
No.
I would ask him maybe the first thing, and I'm sure even if it was the case, he wouldn't say it. Did Eddie really have the Korean EVH brand of Floyd's, or did you guys actually EVH brand German, the German ones?
That's a good one.
Yep. Because I just can't see him.
Did you watch that show, Jay, that he was on?
I did not.
Yeah, you should, because they talk about FU-tone stuff and whether Eddie's using it or not, and Tom Weber says that he's using a lot of he was using a lot of Adam's stuff on his bridges, so maybe not the block, but all the screws and everything, and stainless steel stuff.
Did they spray paint him or something?
I don't know.
Because I mean, Eddie didn't have like the he didn't have it didn't look like at least stainless. I know this isn't a Floyd Rose, but it looked like the normal black, stuff, right?
I don't.
He didn't have the hot rodded looking Floyd.
Yeah, I don't. Which tour? I mean, 2015 maybe. I don't know. I think the Stealth on the 12 tour had silver screws. So.
Oh, okay.
But
Jump out.
but
Maybe you should ask him that. That's a question you can.
I didn't know Tom Weber.
That's a good question. Yeah.
Was recommended to Eddie and Matt by Adam Reaver. So.
Oh wow.
There
didn't
you
know
go.
that
with
either.
that.
I'm getting compliments on this guitar. I wasn't expecting that. This is the orange. What is it? Muscle Car Orange JS.
Right? You should put like a Bears logo on there or something.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, but I
Have Mitch Trubisky sign it.
Oh
Brahms
God,
logo.
hell no. they need more. Anyway, I don't want to. I could talk about that till my face turns orange. But no, I didn't know that I would like this guitar because everybody that knows the Universe and the Gem back there, like, and the RG as well, the yellow one. They have the typical super flat, 17-inch radius fretboard, and pretty thin necks, especially for comparison here. If I can get the angle right.
Don't hurt yourself.
Well, I have the
Yeah,
guitar.
don't
No, hold on a second.
Knocking headstocks.
Yeah.
JS looks
Yeah, the JS is a little thicker.
Yeah. Like obviously noticeably thicker.
Is it rounder?
thicker.
Oh yeah, rounder, and this thing is
Is it longer?
No,
Giggity.
25.5-inch. Thicker, longer, wider.
It's softer and smaller.
Girthier.
So I didn't know if I'd like this. And I bought this used from Guitar Center online. And what happened? Do I have a boogie or something?
Oh,
That's what, ma'am. He's up in Canada.
So anyway, yeah, I got this and I didn't know what to expect. And I couldn't believe how great it felt. Like I said, I'm not used to round radius fretboards. And this is, I think, 9.8-inch radius, I think. So yeah, I love it. And the pickups, I didn't know if I'd like those either, because obviously Satriani's not playing heavy metal. But
yeah, but he's got a pretty heavy tone when he wants to.
yeah, when he wants to, exactly.
Yeah, when he wants to, it's pretty friggin' heavy.
But they're really good. And I was thinking maybe I'll have to change them out or something, but no, these are a keeper in this guitar, man.
Oh, a guitar
Now,
question. A guitar
Have you used
question.
that? Have you used that in studio?
No, not yet. Nope.
Will you
Sure.
use it live?
Shit, if I ever play live. No, I would, if I was playing like a six string stuff, I'd probably play this one.
Yeah.
How low do I get? How close is your action on that guitar? This one's not that close. It's a little trickier to get these as close as I'll show you in a minute, but it's kind of high actually. Oh,
Oh, no.
Like you, it's kind of high.
Where are those cookies?
They're gone.
kind of high, but with a rounded fretboard, it's harder to get it as close, because I'll show you this. I mean, I just smacked guitars.
Oh, my God.
It's like the third time I heard you knock headstocks earlier too. Don't cross the streams. Don't cross the streams.
Like,
You're
the
knocking
action-
headstocks up there?
The action on this one is ridiculous. Check this out. I hope it shows up right, but this action on this one.
What guitar is that?
This is
Pretty
the
low.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
the Levi Universe.
Oh.
Look at that ding on the bottom of the bottom horn. Ouch.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
man. What's the story?
Wow.
behind that?
That's a star.
I think it was from my bass player. He came on my side of the stage, and and he used to do the whole, whipping his like it's a friggin' ball peen hammer. What? And he
Like it's-
blasted. I got this one's got a lot of dings in it,
It's got a lot of history.
Yeah.
Wow.
This one, yeah.
Character.
But
Real relicking, folks.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I was just showing you the action on this thing.
Wow.
Yeah. On the
Wafer thin.
virtually on the board, man. And it,
Get some
it,
buzz.
yeah. I was gonna say you tune that thing down, you get some good buzz.
yeah.
Well,
But
look, Tom Weber said that if you don't have some buzz, it's too high. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
gotta have a little.
Yep. It's gotta be a little buzzed.
It's an electric guitar. So.
Yeah, see? And think of it, how low that action is. This thing should be choking the shit out, man. So anyway, yeah. Oh,
Awesome, man.
Oh, guess my sound machine died.
Oh.
Oh,
We're actually showing guitars on the Late Show.
It's dead.
Oh yeah.
Totally fucking dead.
I've been using mine for how many years, Jay?
Oh God.
Almost dead.
That means mine's older than yours.
Well, I never changed mine
What's the
either. but you
serial
do more
number?
shows than me. So
Caleb,
I
what's
I
your
have a
serial
low
number?
ass serial number on this.
I didn't even look at the serial number of this
A
one.
lot number or item number?
I don't know. Let's see.
yeah, Johnny and
Let's
our
investigate.
lot numbers were way different.
I think lot number would be the time that it was made.
I've been using this thing almost every day for what, 3 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is never going to work. That's
Oh, we can't even see them. Oh, wait.
Focus.
Oh, there's yours.
Damn. Back number.
Look at mine, dude. I think mine's the lowest.
Yeah, you got the old
There we go.
lettering and everything.
Come on.
Look at that. Just to give you an idea of how far they've gone, Jay, what lot number is yours?
5301.
My lot number is 689102220.
Damn, I sold that many. Now, Johnny
Yeah,
and I
mine's-
have sold that many of these things.
How many characters? 1, 2, 3.
Mine
No, it
is-
looks like at least
8 characters on mine.
Mine's
7 or 8,
013400318.
And then the item number is WS5769.
This is what the show's
Yeah,
become.
WS5
W5769.
769.
So the item number is the same, but they've made significantly more since you guys started this thing. And I'd like to thank Dane Zimmerman for the
number 4916.
Yeah, you have like the previous model.
I have one in pieces in the other room, and that one's from at least 10 years ago. I got that from my
same
aunt
one?
gave me that years ago.
The same one?
Wait, these guys actually have them? Larry, you actually have one?
Oh my god!
Oh
Larry,
my god!
that's so funny.
this is
Larry
stupid.
Riker.
Lot number.
I have an 18. Wait, mine's 18. Let's
That's
see.
awesome.
I wonder if 18
Fruitcake
means
Tony's?
2018.
Damn.
Beat My Batch, by the way, should be the name of your next album.
That makes me think that there's different companies making this because the lot numbers are so far off.
There's no way they sold 400,000.
Although I don't know,
Why not?
they're in Target. They're everywhere, man. They probably are. They've been selling them for years.
Oh yeah, I did an Instagram with one back in like 2012 or something.
Yeah, they've been around for a long time. The history of the sound machine, folks.
Dumb.
Rare sound
Children.
machines on
Children.
the lowest bidder, the lowest number of the sound machine. See if they're on eBay for like the lowest serial number.
We are
Go ahead.
children.
Go ahead.
That's
We'll
what we're
wait.
talking about here.
All right. What else is going on? Caleb, you said there was a guitar question. What were we? Was that? Did we already address that?
Oh yeah, no, it was for Jay. It was his action.
Action Jackson. What about you, Caleb? Are all your guitars pretty similar as far as action?
Oh yeah,
Action Jackson.
How do you rock it?
this is low as I can get it without it not being an issue. So
How low can you go?
But
We talking 2 mils, 3
Are
mils?
you shimmied?
well, I don't do it, so
Okay.
I don't know what he's doing
It's out of your hands,
to make it happen, but
Mhm.
beyond your control.
there's nothing I'm really playing that's too high at all. So, or I would notice and I would say, fix it. I should really learn how to intonate a guitar though, so I don't have to fucking. spend
Oh,
money.
intonating it isn't a. I mean, it's a hassle.
It sucks.
Yeah,
I refuse to
Floyd
do
on
it.
a Floyd Rose. It
Yeah.
sucks. Yeah.
I'll do it if I have to do it. Otherwise, I'll just play a regular guitar.
I've been going to a guy for 20 years, and it's a ritual. So I just don't even want to mess with it. He's my dude. And,
Yeah, I only do it if if I'm like recording something and I'm noticing like, oh my god, this one string. Actually, on this guitar, I was practicing a part, and the B, the high B, or yeah, the B string.
The beast.
I have to fret. What do you call it? Fret tune it. I was playing a part, and I had to go up to the 22nd fret, and I was like, damn, that's flat. So I when I was playing, going over that one part, every time I would get to that note, I would knowingly have to bend it up a little bit, like you guys were talking about earlier. But it's not to that point of like you're talking about with Eddie being able to do it with chords and all over the fretboard. It's just one note I noticed that I'm like, okay.
Well, that's a weird question. Hardwood Steaks just asked if in all my years of radio, is any chance I did payola from an artist? No. If I did, don't you think I'd live in a nicer place than this?
Well, you do have
He's
a 1,000 guitars in there. So.
Yeah. Well, I have been gifted guitars, but none of that has been in exchange for airplay.
Oh, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just saying you're never mind.
Oh yeah. Yeah. If I do have a lot of guitars, I spend my money on guitars and not wallpaper.
That was literally going on like a couple years before Paul was.
Yeah, it was a little before that. Although it still happens. There's still things that happen. There are stories of radio stations that actually had credit card readers in their studios. There was a big thing that got, and the paperwork is out on the internet, a station up in New York, where they actually had a form that said, like, for Britney Spears' new song, whatever it was name of artist, Britney Spears, song, whatever the name of the song was, amount, and that was the amount of money that the record company and or promoter paid, and then purpose. So they took the money that they were getting from record companies and were buying laptops and shit for their radio station. Not that far be it from me to tell people how to do their business, but if you're engaged in a criminal enterprise and payola is a criminal enterprise, don't keep fucking documentation of it. If you're involved in a crime, you don't fucking tell people you're doing the crime. These guys actually had files and they got them subpoenaed and they got caught. And so payola does still exist. It's called promotional consideration now, and you can actually take it legally if you announce it. For example,
consideration paid by, isn't that?
Yes. If we played a Gizmochi song, let's just say we played a Gizmochi song on KSLX, which would be fucking funny. Because after Supertramp's Breakfast in America, here's Gizmochi.
America.
But it would be like, let's say,
Paul,
how much you got?
Make it happen.
Yeah, it would. Good thing it
number 11 on Spotify, right?
Yeah, it
Paulola.
It wouldn't sound
Neanderthalola.
It wouldn't sound at all out of place on my classic rock radio station. But no, like they'll do something like, play the new Gizmochi single, and then for whatever reason, win a trip to see Gizmochi in Europe, blah, 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 brought to you by whatever the label is. And that's how you get away with it. As long as you slate it, it's legal to take promotional consideration dollars in exchange for playing a record, as long as it's announced.
What kind of penalty are we talking?
Jail?
What's the risk?
I don't know. I'm not that deep into it, so I don't know. But I do know that you can get screwed. You can lose your license. As a radio station, as a company, you can lose your license. So
I was just reminded of that last night on that the 5150 show that the part of $200K from the fair warning budget went to payola for that record because it wasn't going to go platinum unless they pushed it. And that's in the old Monk's book.
That was in the 80s when that's when all that stuff was going on. Yeah.
So
that happened before I get in. I get in '86, and I'm not saying it doesn't still happen. I bet it does. It's more in pop radio than anything else.
WKRP era.
Yeah, rock radio. It's difficult to get away with payola because the artists are so they're not as disposable. They tend to be career artists. You don't have, in rock radio, you're trying to take a band from being a new band to being part of the library of the band. Whereas in top 40 radio, there's a constant flow of here today, gone later today artists. And so when you've got that situation, it's much easier to wash money in a situation like that.
There's so much sneaky shit you can't do now just because of the ability for someone to get to somebody. You can really tweet somebody something and they'll know about it within minutes.
Yep.
Something that would never have made it, through the channels in the past. So everyone's connected now. It's impossible.
And now because they've got the algorithms embedded in the recordings, things like a leaked record, Like if somebody gets a record, the minute they
Right.
play the leak, it sets off an algorithm that it's called first airing, and the record companies all have this software on their computer that when that song gets played and that algorithm gets detected, it immediately comes up as first played.
It's like YouTube. I mean, that's why they recognize anytime you play somebody else's content.
Yeah. And trust me, we've had situations where we've leaked a record on a radio station without you happen to be the one in question, where we got immediately a cease and desist after we played it because they knew.
Oh no.
What was after? So
Yeah, we didn't get. Well, it was after.
It. Oh my god!
Somebody just sent me this.
Holy shit! Look at that! 15 years.
That looks
Look like
great.
my dad in that picture. Holy shit!
Is he? Look at the picture on your shirt. Is it close? The J on your shirt. It kind of look like the J on your shirt.
Let's get the more gray in there.
It's got no gray in that. Yeah.
So Paul, like, so if a new song comes on, that, like, let's say a band comes out. I know the record labels do all the promotion stuff, but how does a radio station just pick a song one time? You know, it got hot because it started playing at this radio station here, and next thing you know, it caught fire. Like, how does it go when you just random band?
What they'll do is a lot of times there are tastemaker stations, and those are big rock stations in big markets that are very successful with huge audiences and huge ratings. That if that program director or that radio station grabs a record, they play it. All of these other stations will watch their playlist and see what happens and see if that record starts to move up in rotation as far as the amount of spins, because some of these stations will bury a song at night forever. When you hear like spin counts, in order for 50% of your total audience of your radio station to recognize that they've heard a song 3 times in one 7-day period, you've got to play the song over 60 times a week.
Wow.
So think about that. 7 into 60, 8 times a day, about every 3 hours. I mean, it's really that. That's how much frequency of rotation has to happen for a song to burn in, and and a song has to be played 300-400 times before it's even you can get genuine research on it and know that people heard it, recognize it, understand it, and embrace it. A lot of times you'll see a band get a record and you'll say, well, the record didn't do well. And the record didn't do well because, what do you got there? Is that your spin counts?
Just from Liquid Metal. So it was the last 4 days.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing it about every 12 hours.
Yeah, but then that one span, 6:06 p.m. 6:06 p.m. and 9:06 p.m. on the same day. That was like
that's the kind of frequency you have to get.
Awesome.
About every 3 hours. And now keep that in mind. Every 3 hours on a rock station is pretty heavy rotation. That's heavy rotation.
Yeah.
On a pop station, every 70 minutes, you can hear the same song on a station like Kiss FM in LA, or there's a Kiss FM in every fucking city in America. But on those pop stations, and the reason why is those pop stations have bigger audience overall. It's not uncommon for them to have over 1 million people listening, but they tune in and tune out very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
They punch in and punch out very quickly. And pop audiences are very disposable. They don't. Yeah.
I've switched. This happens all the time. I'll switch in between stations and hear the same song, just different parts of the song.
Yes.
And it's pop. It's always pop stuff.
There was that song.
Yeah.
Like, was there a Bruno Mars song?
Yeah. That was a dun dun. I heard it the other day. Yeah.
Yeah, pop audiences will tune in and tune out very, very quickly, and they're also more tolerant and disposable with their records. So they'll listen to that Bruno Mars song. They'll listen to it 8 times a day, 10 times a day. Okay, you're talking about every 70 minutes in heavy rotation. So now you're talking about 22 spins a day.
That's the only song of his I downloaded, I bought, was that song.
What happens is after 3 months, that song is gone and you never hear it again.
Yeah.
And that's why it's easy to promote those records financially, is because they don't last. And in the pop world, it's very disposable. It's very, and that's kind of our society now. We're a very ADD, short attention span country. And so when a band comes out with their third or fourth record, if they're not massive by their third record, it's over. Over. And sometimes if they're not massive by their second record, it's over. You know, Kid Rock got a lot of heat. It took him 7 or 8 records to get Devil Without a Cause. Devil Without a Cause sells 11 million records plus whatever, you know, it ended up at. But I have a platinum in my office from 11 million copies of that fucking album. So 11 million people bought Devil Without a Cause. The follow-up album, which I think was The History of Rock, only sold 4 million. Think about that for a second. That was considered a failure because it was coming off of an 11 million selling record. It only sold 4 million. That's ridiculous. There are artists who will never sell 4 million records total, much less one album selling 4 million. But in the pop world, that it's here today, gone later today, as David Lee Roth was so common to say back then. So that's why it happens. It goes, there'll be a half a dozen big rock stations. They'll start playing a song at night. Usually that's when they expose it at night. That's when it does less damage to your radio station, as in people tune out when they hear unfamiliar music. They'll punch around. They'll say, okay, here's a song that I kind of like from Gizmochi. Let me see what's on the other 4 stations. And if you punch over to another station and I'm playing that, and I'm playing Don't Stop Believin', and somebody else is playing Back in Black, and someone else is playing Master of Puppets, and someone else is playing Feel Like Making Love, whatever their favorite song. If they haven't,
I hate that song.
If they haven't,
I'm the opposite.
But if they haven't heard that, this is what it is, Johnny. If they haven't heard one of those songs too many times, if they sit back and they go, oh, Master of Puppets, I like that song. What's on the other station? Back in Black. I love that song too. And now they'll go through the whole thing and they'll go, okay, there are 4 out of these 5 songs that I've heard a million times. I don't know if I want to hear them again. This song better be good enough to get me not want to hear Back in Black for the 7,000th time. If it is, surprise, that song sticks around for a while. And then it moves up in rotation. It moves up. Now, if a station like, let's say, K-Rock in LA has success with a record, well, then whatever the rock station is in Riverside will grab onto it. So now you got LA and Riverside, and then down in whatever's going on down, you know, in San Diego. Yeah, you know, different stations, and they go around the country.
Compton.
So in Boston, it's a great example. In Boston, it's a station, it gets big in Boston, and then somebody in Providence or Manchester or New Haven.
Can you rewind? Start the whole, if a radio station in Boston, pick it up from there with the Boston accent.
Oh yeah, didn't you want them to say something with the accent?
Yeah, somebody wanted me to say something last night, and last night's show
was that
Boston accent, and I was like, that's not me.
That's those guys.
What are we,
Paul.
clowns? We amuse you?
Well, we're fucking here to amuse you. You fucking Tods. You guys, all you guys want to do. Oh, all of a sudden, we're fucking the flavor of the month for you.
It's because I live in Massachusetts.
Thank you, Brian Spalding. I hope to see myself play live someday too. Yes, I appreciate it. And there was another one in the chat here who said, I look like a young Huey Lewis. I've never heard that before.
That is pretty funny.
A young Huey Lewis, yeah. There you go.
Oh, man.
Huey.
Oh, it was KXM Rock. He said, say NASA with a Boston accent.
It becomes NASA.
NASA.
Yeah, NASA. There's a little bit, it's too nasal.
Hey, MIT, a lot of NASA people at MIT in Boston.
NASA.
Or as Ricky from Trailer Park Boys, NASA.
NASA owns space.
Do you own space? No, NASA does.
NASA owns space.
Oh,
Ricky,
shit,
that's NASA.
The dog's screaming.
Oh.
Is he having a nightmare?
Oh.
He barks in his dreams.
Oh yeah, all dogs do.
Yeah, the running and the
Howie didn't. Howie would just whimper
And fart.
He's kind of whimpering.
It took years for me to get that on video of Howie doing it, and I finally got it. It's on the channel here, by the way.
I knew that. Howie Dreaming, episode 365.
Howie Dreaming is on here.
So that's the story, Jay. That's how it happens.
Thank you.
What were we talking about? What happens when?
It's a trickle-down effect.
Oh.
So how did they
John BL, man, I got to tell you that the hat's working. I'm taking you more seriously with a hat. Usually it's the opposite. Somebody wears
Because
a
I'm so shiny. Look at this without the hat.
yes. He got.
Where-
I'll let you
off
see
there.
it.
I can't
Put
take
it on
seriously
backwards.
anymore.
Wear the hot backwards.
The hot.
That's
We're the
how-
hot. box.
Hot.
Where the-
With hot. Mr. Hond.
Is that Boston for hat?
Put it backwards. Let me see.
No.
Why
Hot.
not?
Why? Why should I? don't know.
That's the George Costanza.
I have to wear my
Look
hats
at this
backwards.
guy. Look at this guy.
Look at
Throw
his.
Oh, now he's a metal dude. Look.
Throw him out.
No.
Now I can play for Gizmashi.
No. You flip it around. Flip it around.
Yeah, a little better the other way.
That was he's a lot heavier.
Yeah. See. There you go. Now it's
What
now.
happened?
Hey, shit. It's
Now he's more trusting.
Yeah. Everybody on the up and up. John Biel.
He's credible.
There we go. Senator that B.
Looks like Mike Greenwell.
I remember him. Hey, so speaking of hats, right? My
There
see
you go,
Amanda. Amanda's all
There you go,
hot
John.
bobbed up in Canada.
Nice, Amanda. Thank you.
Well, that's really what you were going for now, wasn't it?
I wanted the compliment from Amanda. Thank you.
But now in the New Gizmachi video, like my band wouldn't let me wear the hat. I'm like, come on, man. You see my hair? I was like, so I took a picture of it and it looked like friggin' George McFly from Back to the Future.
Oh, what were some of the best comments from your hair shot?
Hey, you.
My hair shot.
Remember you said
Keep
caption
your
it
damn hands off.
with your hair?
Number one, barely anybody commented.
Does that hurt? Does that sting a little?
Nah. I'd rather have people comment on the band stuff.
I don't know. He's
Oh, yeah,
kind of acting like he's a little bit bigger than the rest of us.
Oh my God, Caleb, up until
Including-
right now, I thought you wrote this comment.
Jay, the last two chocolate covered cashews.
How'd you save two? How'd
Where'd
you
you
not
find
finish
those?
those?
There we go. Thank you, Colonels.
What's the lot number on that bag?
Oh man, I literally. Well, I don't know if I should share this, but I gained 5 pounds in the last month because of Colonels. Last month I gained 5 pounds because of Colonels.
Woo!
I'm gonna blame Colonels. I don't know if it was their fault. but
Oh man, that's
It's
great.
Colonels
Thank
and
you. No matter
Colonels and
what,
content.
thank you, Colonels. I'll be ordering again soon.
Colonels and content. Once you get yourself a woman,
Johnny, where's the? I will be looking like Vince pretty shortly if I keep up with the Colonel.
Vince Cawthorne
Oh, boy.
from Ghostbusters,
Yes.
the Keymaster.
are
Rick
you the
Moranis?
keymaster?
There you go.
Colonels BL or John Colonels right there.
Man.
Wow.
We'll be able to take that picture for real.
By the way,
Colonels is great stuff, man. It's a little sinful, but it's great stuff.
we haven't talked. We haven't
Or-
talked. Sinful was the name of Nuno Betancourt's band right before Extreme, and they're pretty good. Ah, there you
Johnny's
go.
got that on standby instantly.
Ready.
All you gotta do is think about saying Nuno or Paul Gilbert, and it's up. It's in your face.
If you say it 3 times, will they appear?
It's his F1.
Yeah.
Man,
And his
that's it.
his index finger is on it the whole time. That's why you don't see Johnny's left hand. It's sitting there waiting. Sitting there right on the key, man. Hot key set up. Oh, Ned's controlling that.
Ned says.
Ned says,
Oh, knows what's up.
Ned says
Another
firm.
drink.
the best comment. I get-
Wait! This is the part of the show where Johnny almost passes out from laughing.
No, that wasn't that funny.
Ouch!
So the best comment on the band one, it would probably be when you're reading the amazing reviews of the leather jacket you just bought because you're still unsure about the purchase. That was one of them. And then the next one says, just bought a couch and I never felt more sure about it. And then I responded with, that jacket might actually be made out of an old couch. Caleb's talking about this picture. Yeah, that's how I had to wear my hair for the damn video.
Wow.
Come on, focus. I'm actually maybe I'm glad it won't focus.
It's all about image.
It looks like the background there.
It's a friggin' pool
Oh, there.
tarp. I had to use the blue screen. The green screen that I bought, that thing that I have up here, it was too small, so I had to use a friggin' pool tarp. Not that I have a pool either, but you
You
know.
know, blunt in there.
What? No, it's my phone.
It looks like a blunt.
Oh, it kind of does. Yeah, it looks like I have my finger over it.
At least you have the Levi in the picture. Pay tribute to the little girls. Good for you.
There it is. Yeah, it's my phone. So what the reason I'm holding my phone looking at it like that is because I had to control my Bluetooth speaker through my Spotify through my phone. And then I was recording this with a GoPro, and I have to control the GoPro through my phone as well. So I'd have to start the video,
Wow.
and then I'd have to open the Spotify app, scroll to the end of the song, and put repeat on so I have a couple seconds to get ready.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's why I just my other guitar player took a screenshot and sent that to me, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Rock stars are glamorous, aren't they?
Yep, that's
Yeah.
how you know. That's how you know you are totally in a do-it-all situation.
Yeah, I did that myself. It's in my living room. Me and Jeannie hung up the tarp. That's against our wall in our
Awesome.
living room, taped.
Just so you know, Aerosmith spent almost $600,000 on the Janie's Got a Gun video. Just so you know,
And that was 80, what year would that have been? 87?
89.
87, yeah, 89.
I know that.
man.
You what?
The girl in the video. I know her. Christy.
Oh, do you?
Yep.
You know Janie?
In the video, yeah.
No shit.
Hmm.
Did she have a gun?
600K.
The reason I started smoking cigarettes.
How much did Van Halen spend on on Jump? I think they spent like
600.
$3,000. I heard like $3,000 or something. But either way, that's a tiny amount,
I heard $400.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That for the cost
Doll
of
hairs.
It was
the
like
cost
nothing.
of the Handycam. Yeah,
It's not Handycam. That was 35 millimeter film or 16 millimeter. So I mean, that's expensive.
All that
stuff.
footage at Showbiz Pizza Place they never used.
settle the fuck down, John. Jesus.
16 millimeter. It was approximately 16 cents a foot back then, and no.
Say it in a Boston accent.
Yeah, dude. Why don't you fucking calm down over there?
Come on.
John B.L., why don't you have? Where are you from again?
Settle the fuck down, hot charger.
Not
I'm
a south.
about 30 minutes north of Boston.
So why don't you have the?
It's not a
Teacher.
south.
You know what? I think. Excuse me. I think.
Hey, congratulations, your balls dropped.
I
Live on the
the and when I went to school in New Haven for 4 years, or lived in New Haven for 4 years. That was right around the time when I don't know, maybe I disowned that accent around that time.
Disown the accent. Huh?
I don't
Well,
know. I lost. I don't know if I ever had it. I don't know. I just do I have it? I mean, sometimes
A little
I do,
bit. Sometimes, yeah.
a little bit.
Jump was shot on 16 millimeter, and I don't know if it's like a home movie. That stuff's
It's not.
expensive.
No, it's not a home movie, but I mean, it's expensive, and they probably had what they do it in 1 or 2 days, probably.
Probably.
So how much did it cost to make that?
Jump?
Yeah.
I
Jump
don't
in.
know.
Not a lot.
But they shot a bunch of other stuff. All those outtakes were for the Jump video, and then some of those clips made it into the Panama video instead. But
Because
they were
Jump is only that studio stuff, right? That I don't
Yeah.
think there's anything else except the studio stuff, right? And Jump.
but they did a lot of pre-shot B-roll stuff, stuff, really cool stuff,
Yeah.
quality stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of it's they used to call it rape the vaults or something when they
Oh,
Those-
come on, no.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
you can't
that-
say
that-
vaults on here, man.
Oh, Jesus, man.
But it was the.
you can find that stuff on YouTube though. Yeah,
Jesus Repesme.
the B-roll footage, all that B-roll stuff.
Put them on the boat playing poker with the chicks.
Yeah.
There was
The
something,
Showbiz Pizza. Michael
the,
Anthony at Showbiz.
Eddie in the studio with the double neck, the yellow double neck.
Yeah. I posted a
Eddie-
picture of that.
Yeah, I saw that
The
today.
guitar tech throwing the guitar case into the hotel room,
hmm
right? That
Several
clip.
takes of that one. Yeah,
And
So-
obviously,
The song that made them the song that
Dave
made
in the
them
towel.
the most money. The song that made them the most money, they actually paid the least amount for a music video.
Mhm.
That's pretty good.
I think they probably spent more on Pretty Woman than
ROI, baby.
than
Definitely.
Jump anyway.
And that was shot on video.
Right. It looks and that only aired a few times on MTV. If
There
I'm
was some budget on that.
yeah.
And of course, Motley Crue stole the entire concept for Smoking in the Boys' Room.
And then I never understood Pretty
Oh,
Woman.
no, Home Sweet Home. Sorry, the
the
beginning
whole-
of Home Sweet Home.
The whole story with Intruder was because the video was too long.
Yes.
So how did they? So they just cut the video without the audio, without the song, and then they said, "Here's the video. We need, an extra 2 minutes or something." It's that's so strange. Like
they cut the video and then they needed to fill.
I
the
don't
gap.
think the video. I mean, I don't think it syncs with any of the timing of the song. It must
Right.
not because.
But they're setting up a story, and that.
Oh yeah, the story's
time took
hilarious.
longer than the actual song.
Right. That story's funny. Yeah. I mean, Intruder was all because of the video. And then the video only played once or a couple of
But
times.
what's weird about that video is that the transvestite doesn't really look like a dude. It looks like a chick.
It probably is a chick up until the last close up, right? That's
I
what
think
I
that
always thought.
I think it was a subtle shot at Annie Lennox.
Right? 'Cause I look at that last shot and I'm like, he's kind of that looks, she's cute.
And I think the
Nah,
actor,
it's a guy.
the
you can
actor
tell
at
it's
the
a
end was he was on a lot of like 80,
Somebody.
he was
I'm
in
sorry,
a lot
John.
of 80s TV shows. That actor, you recognize him.
Where-
I could be wrong, but
Where was that? Who told me that the guy that the main guy that calls everybody
The
the
Hunchback.
guy the hunchback.
I always thought that was Dave.
He left a comment on a video somewhere saying that he was in that video.
really.
Wow.
Yeah, somebody
video,
showed it to me, or
That guy looks like Dave. It almost, to me, it looked like
Really?
Dave. For years, I thought that was Dave Lee Roth as the Hunchback also.
Can we get some stills from that video?
It's definitely that would be
Wait,
a
no,
precursor
no.
to the
Wait a minute.
Picasso brothers for sure.
The first, hold on. This that doesn't look. Is that who you're talking about? The hunch.
Yeah,
That looks like Dave.
with makeup.
No,
Looks more like Dave now. No.
He does
That
look
guy-
familiar. He looks like a TV actor from like a B. What it's CD. Oops.
Low power mode.
Oh.
You're running out of battery.
Low power mode.
Terrible video. I never. I don't know. It's just.
Your disgust is clear.
Yeah. But well, I mean, it's hilarious. It's at least it's hilarious. Yeah.
So we get in here in the chat. Ben Tom says, I posted a photo of Eddie's massive camel toe from a live photo. When it's a dude, it's a moose knuckle. A male camel toe is a moose knuckle. And then you got Russell Zahner coming in and saying, okay. I just got here, and this guy is like Eddie's camel toe. I mean, are we really running out of shit to talk about? And then, as 2 comments later, he goes, talk about porn more. Doesn't want the camel toe. That's pretty good.
And Mr. K says the Hunchback is Dave. Is he?
yeah, that's a
One of the
dude.
Early shots of the
But at the end, when he
transvestite.
pulls off the wig and
that
smiles,
almost looks like Dave.
that shot.
No, at the end, you can tell that's a guy. Show.
How many of you rubbed out?
Oh no!
Here we go.
What's going
Show
on?
us John. Show us the very still of the Pretty
Wow.
Woman at the very end. Did you actually see the video back in the day though?
There's the Hunchback. I know you want. I do not see Dave at all in that.
Yeah, no, that's not Dave.
No.
No, the guy has a name. He left a comment saying I played the guy in the video, and he was talking about it. I forget where I saw that.
There are a bunch of faces that guy makes in that video. It looks like Dave. But that's me. I don't know. But
By the way, there is an IMDb page for this video.
Oh, there it is. Here's the still.
And International Crisis is the name of the woman
What? Hold on.
International Crisis. International, and then CHRYSIS. International Crisis. So I click on International Crisis, and it says International Crisis was born in 1951. She was an actress known for Q&A 1990, Van Halen's "Oh Pretty Woman" video, and How to Pick Up Girls. She died on March 26th. You know I'm going to have to Google International Crisis now because she died.
That was her name?
Wait, she?
That's what I'm looking now. I'm looking for more here.
Dude, all right. So I can't,
Johnny Beane,
for
that's
some
a
reason
dude?
I can't get a
Here we go. International Crisis was a member of the Hot Peaches troupe and appeared briefly in the 1968 documentary The Queen. She was an American transgender entertainer and protege to Salvador Dali. Holy shit.
Wow. Not what I remember, but
Oh, you know Dave met her in some club, dude. Come on.
Allegedly.
Right? Come on.
that's
Transgendered.
So that's a guy.
Yeah, but I mean the idea transgender.
Back
like
then?
I mean that's the thing. I mean when did that happen?
Remember Wendy Carlos? Anybody know the synthesizer guru Walter Carlos? It was he started his career as Walter. He did the music for Clockwork Orange, for The Shining, all that synth stuff, and
That person's 70.
who's that?
Or she was. It was 70? How
Which
old?
are you talking about? The Pretty Woman or the?
Yeah, the Pretty Woman is
Yeah.
Someone who was born in 1951.
So in 1982, how old would they have been?
30.
34?
Right. That sounds about
33?
right.
31?
I don't know. Math is hard.
It's too late.
I'm just reading about this like I guess liver cancer because of the wax that was injected into her implants. Jesus.
Wow.
So that's phenomenal. We just learned a lot about International Crisis. That's a little bit of Van Halen trivia that I don't know anybody would ever have known.
So that's the name of the actor who played.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, that's some good trivia right there.
Here we go. I'm looking at International Crisis. Billy Schumacher was his name when he was born.
There.
Yeah, was yes, there because we got to do gender neutral.
It's
born as Billy Schumacher. Billy became Crisis at 12.
Wow. So
and was
1963.
And was entering pageants and performing. And was I'm trying to they were doing sex magazine films, I guess, in 1968.
Welcome to Saturday. Okay.
Wow, this is so weird. No, it's just the weirdest thing. By the mid-70s, Crisis was a drag celebrity and performed at the Jewel Box Revue and other major venues, including in Europe, especially Berlin, and was a longtime friend of Salvador Dali. In 76, she was on the cover of White House magazine.
Roth.
I would have guessed. I'm guessing that's where this thing.
I would think that they knew each other.
Despite the claim on the cover that this woman is a man, this is a magazine called White House Magazine. That was the first time an out trans woman was on a magazine cover. In 1982, she was the woman in the Van Halen video for their cover of Oh Pretty Woman. She reveals herself as a non-standard woman by taking off her wig. It played a few times on MTV, but was pulled after complaints about the non-consensual fondling by little people.
Oh, goodness.
And then
this is
5
phenomenal.
years later, there's just big butts like just banging in the videos.
I know, yeah.
It's like, come on.
This is Wendy Carlos, who did the all that Moog synthesizer. Switched on Bach. You guys ever hear of that? Switched on Bach. Early synthesizer Moog stuff, and yeah, it was Walter. His name was Walter Carlos until.
Yeah, I know who that is, John.
Yeah, and she did the soundtracks to a lot of those. Yeah,
yeah, I saw her talking about all that stuff.
Every day,
great, talented. She did a lot of all that Moog stuff. She did one note at a time. You couldn't do the Moog. It wasn't polyphonic, so you had to do one note.
Right.
So one track per. One track per.
One note per track.
Chord. One note per chord. Yeah, whatever it is.
I have one of those sitting right here.
Yeah, a monophonic synthesizer. Yeah.
Dude,
That
no
is-
one's
Sorry, what were you gonna say? Go ahead.
cooler than Eddie Van Halen as the cowboy in that video. So
Right.
But if you go back now, if you go to the Home Sweet Home video, remember in Motley Crue's original, before the one that's a concept one, where the guy's on the phone, oh, I'm on my way. You know, everybody answers. That's totally copped from the Pretty
I don't know
Woman
if I
video.
remember that version.
Oh yeah, there's a concept video for Home Sweet Home that starts out, you know, they're in 4 different places. You know, Mick Mars is in some sort of a dungeon. Vince is on the beach.
There he
Yeah.
is.
Hello.
I was gonna say, where is the captain?
He's got his. He's
Sorry,
got his
Paul.
No, that's all right.
See you. Great to see you, Michael.
Hi, how's everybody doing, man?
Good.
And Eddie has a good case of what they would call back then Chinese eyes. At that point, he is just out of it in that video. Little on the hype side.
Could be his Polynesian background.
Mike
Could be.
Johnson is saying, just tuned in, first time watching this podcast.
Hello, Mike Johnson.
Welcome, Mike Johnson.
Black Salami says you're wasting your time. But Black Salami has been here for 2 hours and 7 minutes. So.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Black Salami. What would Black Salami like to hear us talk about?
Yes, Black Salami.
Black salami.
We'll give you a little bit of
Send the
time. What do you want to
salami
hear
your
about?
boy in the army.
What's your jam there?
Yeah, well, all right, Black Salami. The floor is yours, kid.
It's
Yeah,
all yours.
Give a topic.
Black salami.
We may have already lost him. He may already be gone.
We're
so,
waiting. Nothing.
Anyway.
Right. That's just what we thought.
Yes, Indonesian. Isn't that Polynesian? Indonesian?
No, Indonesian is not Polynesian. Polynesian is from like Hawaii.
Oh, okay. Indonesia, Asia, somewhere in Asia, in the dark continent of Asia, something like that. All right. Anyway, let's talk about making sandwiches.
Sure. What kind of
If
sandwich?
that's what you like.
Would you
No,
would you
I like
I'm
sandwiches.
gonna guess it has to include salami. Am I right?
Yeah,
Ah, look at that. There
would
go,
you like
black
mortadella
salami.
on that?
Little
Hots or
mortadella?
no?
Yeah,
Salami.
Hots. Is that a New England thing? Hots. Do you guys know what? Besides Paul, do you guys know what hots are?
The candy?
On a
No.
sandwich. You want to get a sandwich, and you want hots on that.
Hots or
what
not?
hots?
Also, is it
No.
Genoa salami? Is it Genoa salami? Hard salami? What type of salami? There's a
Well,
whole-
the Genoa salami would be the black salami because it's thicker.
Black Forest isn't? Oh, Black Forest is ham, I think.
Yeah, that's ham. You can
No,
throw some ham
hots
in
are
it.
just hot peppers, red hot peppers.
Mm-hmm.
That's hots, New England style. New England style.
No, black salami. I like a lot. I want 15 inches of meat. Give it to me deep in my throat. Is that what you're looking for? How many other fucking double entendres you want to make?
3 inches.
Did you get your 15 minutes of attention? Okay, now fuck straight off.
Oh,
Moving
Paul.
on.
Paul.
Hey,
Paul.
Sucking on black salamis.
we gave him his moment, so
Yeah,
we can
you
move
had
on.
your-
I think we can
You
move
had
on.
your attention.
I
Skip
actually-
along now.
I actually
Child.
think it was. It was adding to the show. I liked it.
Keep it coming there, Mr. Salami.
Yeah, whatever.
That's not what she said to Peter North.
Aha!
Oh,
Ropes everywhere. Just ropes flying.
Oh, man.
Flying ropes.
ropes,
Wow.
The rope a dope.
ropes.
This devolved so fast.
Well, what's his name wanted us to talk about porn, so here we go.
There you go. Now you got everything you asked for. See? We're here for the people. This is
Saturday
a-
night, ladies and
This is
gentlemen.
an all request show. I was just accommodating the gentleman.
asking
I saw
ye
this on
shall
Twitter.
receive.
I saw this on Twitter tonight. Look at that.
Is that
What would
the?
you what? Name this cactus?
I named it a cactus.
That's
Aha.
original. Good.
Look at that fucking thing.
I think Michael Smith posted a picture like that from in the last couple of days.
I still can't comment, by the way. I can only like shit. I
Pretty
can't
sure I
comment.
saw that.
Are you
waiting.
for real? From the other day?
From the fucking Burt Reynolds picture I put up.
Oh, you got to be shitting me.
Even the captain is surprised.
I'm
I
surprised that the captain hasn't been put in timeout again. I'm like, where's the line?
It doesn't get longer. Like 30 days, 6 months. I mean,
Man,
how often do you get suspended?
he's posting like 30, 50
I was pushing on the longest I got they were going to get rid of me was for I think it was 60 days or 90 or whatever, and then I kind of like had to tone it back. So I think the next time hopefully won't be. I think it might be.
Oh, there it is.
So which one's that? Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, the worm penis. I put that up a couple days ago.
the worm penis. Yes,
I thought that's what Caleb was showing. It's similar. Thank you, Michael Smith.
Oh, you're welcome.
Caleb wasn't showing anything. Just like
It's just nature, folks. It's just nature.
Exactly. It's all
don't
nature,
look
man.
for no timestamp. I wasn't showing nothing.
Hey, Captain, in your travels, you ever seen any of those dick snakes?
Trouser snake.
We see a lot of those on the railroad. A
Lila.
lot of lonely nights and cold places.
You might want to watch out. So it's liable to sneak up your ass.
Sometimes we like to use it as bait. I myself am a masturbator.
Well, I'll give you a couple of.
Didn't Bill Dan say that?
I'll give you a couple of railroad terms. This is all true now. Angle cock, closeout cock, kingpin. I can go on. This is all railroad terminology.
What are the ones with the cock?
Keep going.
Give me some more with the cock.
And then another.
Somebody ask a question, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've run out of time.
Oh boy.
God, I've been off like
Everyone keeps getting hidden, so we got an issue. Nobody
Get anybody missed that 45-minute opening song we were looking for earlier? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I apologize, Johnny. I'm on for like 15 minutes and the whole fucking show came to a crash.
No, it's not you, Michael. It's not you, Michael.
Although, in my defense, I did jump on YouTube early and then we were talking about, I heard camel toes and then knuckle, whatever the hell it was.
Moose knuckle. The moose knuckle.
Moose knuckle.
Knuckles.
You want a moose knuckle sandwich there, buddy?
Oh, God.
The moose knuckle shuffle. What is it?
Well,
No?
that's it. We've run out of.
Fruitcake Tony says now you can never talk about Mancuda talking about corks.
He talks about more than corks, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what.
What's the average Tuesday show is like freaking
Cock.
3 to 4 hours, ain't it?
I tap out after 2.
Not if Johnny can control it.
No, it can't be over 4 anymore because StreamYard cuts off the audio.
Really?
At
What is
4
this?
hours.
So what does this do for our New Year's Eve shows
Yeah,
and
just
shit like
say we're
that?
gonna
I was just going to ask that.
Well, no. The YouTube side is fine, but if I go to podcast anything,
Oh.
the show
Can you
just
start?
cuts
Can you
off.
start a second podcast? I mean, let's not tell Mancuda this.
He just doesn't want to.
No.
do that. He doesn't
Well,
want-
if I level up and pay for the next level of StreamYard,
No, but
Which
you
is
could start a second one though, right? Couldn't you
which
do a
is-
podcast from like 6 to 8, and then another one from 8:02 to 10:02? Theoretically,
yeah.
That's
Part-
got to be a workaround.
Five.
let's never tell anybody this.
Well, no, I was gonna say when Johnny was like, "No, the StreamYard doesn't allow you to go over 4 hours," and then we were like, "Well, what does that do?" And I was almost thinking Johnny was about to say, "No, just on the Tuesday shows when Mancuda's on, it cuts us off at 4 hours."
If your StreamYard lasts longer than 4 hours,
Ah,
Yeah.
Please consult your physician.
please consult you exactly. Oh God.
Caleb, something in B melodic minor. I don't know. Is that actually a? Is that a mode?
Oh yeah.
yep, nope.
I don't think B melodic minor is a mode or any.
No,
But I'm not the theory guy, so I don't
I'm
know.
not either. So
I'm
cheap.
definitely not.
Smoking
Maybe,
mirrors.
I
maybe a
know-
Mixolydian mode or
Yeah, there you go.
something like that.
I was surprised at how much love I got on the fact that I posted a clip from Kiss in 1977 where Ace Frehley is just molesting the guitar in improper ways, just awful. I mean, the first two sentences where he can't sing, he can't play. He's just Keith Richards just fumbling his way through solos. Nobody should ever teach anybody. Like, I'm just shitting all over Ace Frehley. By the way, I happen to love the guy. I'm a huge fan, but I was surprised how many people were like, oh yeah, he's awesome. I'm like, are you serious? He's an awful guitar player. He's awful, but he's awesome at being awful. Like nowadays, if somebody heard that live on stage, they'd be like, you guys got to get a new guitar player. I mean, the band, the idea is good, but you got to get rid of that guitar player. He's a nightmare.
It'd be the guy from Jonas Brothers or something, or whatever.
Hey,
It was
shout out
so
to
much-
Ace. Somebody's been
It was
playing
so
him
much
on.
the image, man. So much.
Oh yeah,
My
Somebody's
God.
been playing his solo New York. What is it? What's the song? The
New
single?
York Groove?
New York Groove, like every day at noon. That's when I usually take my lunch break, and it's the New Hampshire station WGIR or something like that. Somebody's always playing that song.
Huh.
I hadn't heard it until maybe 2 or 3 months ago, but they're playing it all the time when I tune in.
Well, that's a cover. He didn't write that.
Well,
No, he
either
didn't.
way, I mean, just an Ace Frehley song. It's fun.
It's a good tune, though.
Oh, it is a good song. The opening is
Yeah.
great. The funky.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's disco. It's pretty much a disco track.
Yeah.
But
This
it's
goes,
amazing.
Where the Knicks go?
It's just so amazing to me how many people
my
love a
God.
guy who nowadays would never get signed.
That interview
Image.
where Ace Frehley's acting like a friggin' 12-year-old, like a drunk 12-year-old at a party, and Gene Simmons is just like not amused. Not
Oh, the Tom Snyder interview.
that.
He was all fucked up.
Yeah, and Gene Simmons was not happy about it.
They were pissed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, him and Peter were hammered.
Yeah, that's right. It was him and Peter. They were both
Yeah.
like a couple of kids, man.
They were
Paul-
totally hammered.
Say, I'm Gene Simmons from Pissed.
This is Gene Simmons from Pissed. He was something, man. He was just a nightmare in that interview. I mean, that's a great example of what was the moment where the band should have broken up. Right there, right that interview, because you could see it. Like Paul is like looking around, like, will somebody please end this? And Tom Snyder doesn't give a shit. He's like, I've got gold.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because back then they were live.
What year was that? Was that late
79.
79? I remember the one. What was the one with Gene and right in like 75 or 76?
Jody Fields.
I don't know. It's on the box set there.
Yeah,
the,
it's the Mike Douglas show where
Mike
she
Douglas,
outs him as being Jewish.
yes.
Yeah.
She out
Black Salami. Paul Stanley is gay. So what if he is?
Who
Done.
cares?
Yeah. So what if he is? Who cares?
That's right.
Paul Stanley's rich, bitch.
He's a rich bitch.
He's rich and he's one of the greatest frontmen in the history of rock, and he's a better singer than he gets credit for. And he's in super shape now. We were backstage at the last show right before the everything got shut down. The Kiss tour rolled through town. And I watched him in those big platform shoes doing stretches backstage, and he's like 70. And I was tired watching him loosen up for the show. I was like, Jesus Christ. He's got
Where's that picture?
He's still got washboard abs. I mean, he's in amazing shape.
Picture with him next to Roth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that.
Brian Spalding's given us our theory lesson for the week. Melodic minor is a great transitional scale. I love that one. And harmonic minor. Thank you. I'm going to have to learn some of those scales. I know my minor and major scales. That's about it.
Don't care. If it sounds good, it is good.
Paul is 69.
Giddy.
dudes. 69 dudes.
They're going to continue their final farewell tour, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
They just announced Australian dates.
Yeah, they're going to play in Australia.
Whatever country opens up first, I'm sure that's going to be the tour spot to be,
Caleb Sparkle, the Space Wolf.
Yeah.
Nerd Halen will be playing Australia.
Look at that, man.
Look at that, man. That is badass.
It's funny how many people are getting that done now. having our friend Craig is doing that to a lot of guitars now.
Yeah.
Dude, EH came out with one.
Yeah.
They came out with the silver sparkle standard.
Did you ask if that was?
Yeah, you should get your piece.
I haven't asked, but I will, and I'm almost positive that it's because of this. So
It's funny how that paint scheme comes and goes. I mean, it was like everybody's favorite van back in the 70s, and then it went away, and then it was like the flake, the sparkle flake paint came back in the 80s briefly, and then it went away. It's one of those things that just sort of comes in cycles.
It's like fashion, right? Just clothes, bell bottoms.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Never.
Even in the 60s, I think guitars had that kind of, there was some guitars that had that kind of, sparkle on it.
Oh yeah.
Or, like the automotive paint when I think it was Fender used the DuPont paints and started getting creative with the paints and that kind of stuff.
Craig Stoffco, CHS Custom Guitars.
There it is.
He's got so much work, man. That guy's getting slammed, and good for him. It couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
Right, but it's one of those be careful what you wish for kind of stories.
Yeah.
Yep. He's getting
Don't bite off more than you can chew.
Yeah, he's got a lot. He's got a lot of things going on.
Well, I told him
everything, man.
I told him at some point with increased notoriety and visibility comes the eventual C&D, and he's like, I don't care. I'm like, all right, good luck.
He's one hard-working son of a bitch, though. I'll tell you that, man.
He's
Right?
committed to getting it right.
He's on the snowplow crew in that town.
Yeah.
That guy busts his ass,
Mm-hmm.
and it's worth it because the product is good when he's done with it.
Yes.
He painted my drummers, or sorry, Paul, our drummers guitar. Well, it was actually my guitar. It was my first 7-string that I gave him. I don't know why I gave him a guitar.
Himself, he's gonna say sorry, Paul, even when Paul's not around. He's gonna say,
It's just something I did.
I'll call you.
Text me. Send me do me a favor. Send me the video at half speed of you saying sorry.
Half speed Paul. Half speed Paul is my favorite Paul.
You got another half speed video from Jay.
Dogs. That should be my ringtone if I ever call you.
And when you text me, just does this. That's it.
That's it.
Hey, I uploaded all the Johnny Beane sound bites that I had. You got any of you guys get that on the?
I checked him out. Yeah.
When? Where? What?
Oh, it's a Dropbox?
Gold for you guys in my Dropbox. I got a Dropbox and I uploaded all kinds of stuff for you guys. Nobody cared, but
I still got to listen to that show, man.
You uploaded like 19 things in one 4-hour period. I was like, oh my
nice.
God, get a job.
well,
Ding.
ding. Hey, it's gold. I'm giving you gold. All kinds of stuff.
No,
JB
John,
sound
I'll
bits.
say it. Thank you.
JB sound
check-
bits.
There's a couple of the last couple I sent were Johnny Beane sound bites, and then a few shows, rare stuff.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I'm going through them right now. Hold on a minute.
There you go. Now you can all enjoy the Johnny Beane soundboard.
We should share this.
Your hair gel all over the place.
I don't even know which ones were on there. I just uploaded all the ones that I had available quick.
I'm glad you left the Eddie laugh at the end of it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's some gems in there. There's some good stuff.
That's funny, man.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Yo.
Roll receivers, rules all.
I gotta run, boys. I'm so happy to be back.
Oh,
But I gotta go.
We're happy to have you. I'm glad you could hang in for a little while tonight, Caleb.
Thanks for having me.
Where's the puppy?
Oh, by the way, Coming to America comes out Friday.
is it on Amazon, right?
Oh,
I'm so scared. I'm
Does
so
that mean-
scared.
oh.
It's gonna suck.
I know.
Eddie Murphy hasn't been funny in what 30 years.
Okay.
You know, it's funny. That's what they said before Coming to America. When that movie, when the original Coming to America came out, they were like, Eddie Murphy's done. It's over. He's and then that came out. It was great.
Yeah. And
I hope it's good.
I do too.
My stomach. I'm so hungry.
I laughed harder in The Nutty Professor than just about any movie.
That was good, man. The farting.
Table scene.
Mhm.
Sorry about that. That was loud. Everybody up, man. Think of what he felt when he was standing on that riser, man. Everybody up. You know, it's just like then he has the little knee shimmy that he does.
Yeah. He had control of 20,000 people. You know?
All right, Caleb. We'll see you.
I will tell you,
see you later.
having stood on stage at a festival in Kansas City, we used to do this thing called Rockfest. And when you had a radio station festival and there are 55,000 people standing in front of you and you're at stage center getting ready to bring a band on stage and you look out and see that many people. And obviously Dave has seen 6 times that many at the Us Festival, but 55,000 people standing in front of you while you're on stage paying attention to you at that moment is incredible. The rush it's scary as fuck.
Well, and just imagine if
Super
those people
scary.
think of it as if those people were there for you, though.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's even like,
Yeah. Like it's easy to get out there for 40 seconds and say, hey, y'all having a good time. Please welcome Seven Dust. You know what I mean? But going out there and putting on a show for an hour and a half in front of those people, I imagine is incredibly overwhelming. And that's why Eddie drank.
Yeah.
Huh?
All right.
good night, man.
Good
Love
seeing you, Caleb, man.
See you, Caleb. See you later, Caleb.
Have a great night.
Good night.
See you, man. See if I can find. I'll send you guys that picture in the chat. It's an insane view of that amount of people.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Well, I was watching reaction videos last night of the 91 Metallica in Moscow.
Excuse me.
1.6 million people.
That was one of the
Insane.
one of the biggest audiences in history. I think. Yeah, you can look that up on Wikipedia. I think the biggest was actually Rod Stewart. To be honest with you, 6 million or something in South America. But yeah, for a metal show, that was amazing. That the airfield, Tukashino airfield or something like that.
Dude, it was insane, and just the people watching it. I didn't realize that many people were there for that 1.6. And they show the footage, and it's just like it literally is a sea of people. Like, it goes everywhere.
They like helicopter over the whole crowd for for a long time, and it just goes on and on. Yeah.
It's like, how the hell, suppose you're think about it. Up front, you're getting crushed. In the back, can you even hear it?
They were even saying, I think Metallica said that the security was beating the crap out of a lot of people. They were
like the military.
Really hard on people. Yeah. But then there was a lot of the people in the military that were taking off their uniforms and joining the crowd too, that they were saying. So
I wonder if people had to die at that. I'm not saying got killed. I'm talking about just died. Either trampled,
right?
Eat. Next thing you know, you pass out. You're drunk.
You wouldn't hear about it. I mean, that was post-Soviet Russia. There was pretty much no holds barred at that point. 91 in Russia. Man,
I wouldn't have went to that. Kidding me?
It'd be dangerous. That's for sure.
Yeah, but you're right.
Even the fans were saying it was a rough scene. I mean, I think if you look at the interviews from Pantera and Metallica, I think even in the year and a half, they say that it was really like the security was getting out of hand, or whatever they would,
Well, all it would have taken was a few people to start rushing the military, and that they would have been crushed.
Right.
Yeah, there's no way you can stop that wave. Like if people decided we're going to go all this way, what are you doing?
You got to go. You got to go with it.
Yeah, you got to exactly go with it or get killed.
Yeah.
That's why I scooted back at a Winger concert.
Gotta watch out for that crowd.
I was up in the front at Winger, Kiss, and Vixen, and once that wave started happening, I freaked out and I went back because I couldn't take it.
Wow.
Couldn't do it.
Dude,
Winger.
we gotta get the fuck out of here. It's gonna get crazy. Kip's
Winger.
gonna hit one of those, you know.
So
Bro,
here's
we're
the
gonna die.
highest attended concerts.
All their songs are in E, and he's just hitting the open E string the entire time.
He's not playing the bass; it's sequenced.
Oh, it's the guy playing the
Can't
keyboards.
be right.
The other guy, yeah.
Man.
Huh?
I'm looking at the highest attended concerts, but I'm trying.
Cobra Kai. Okay, I'll tell you guys something because it's been a while. We found this guy and he didn't respond back to us. We actually found him.
So now we're gonna dox him. No, I'm joking.
Well, actually, not we. One of our viewers found him, and was trying to contact with him, and the guy never responded back.
Now, can I ask you? Did the guy like to show the message is being seen?
I don't know. John Bill. I don't know. I don't know.
That's a big thing.
Did
I
we
mean,
try hard enough? Did he really try hard enough?
yeah, if the guy didn't open the message, it might be in its spam. And 90% of the people don't know how to find your spam messages on Facebook. I've found it about 12 times and I still don't know how to get back to it.
Yeah, we found him, or not. I'm saying not we. One of our viewers found him, and
I believe his name is Edward, isn't it?
What's this weed shit? Come on,
John.
John. What?
I believe his address is
Well, I'm not gonna.
Yes.
His name might be Irving or Joe or Paul or Michael as well. I don't know.
Wasn't me.
Peter.
Is that Paul? Is that you?
I'm not getting blamed for this.
Well, you can give it to me. I'll take the blame.
I'm not getting blamed.
You're out there, man. If you're out there, we want to hear from you.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, one of our viewers did find him and sent me. I guess he was in contact with me, telling me stuff, and he was trying to get a hold of the dude, and the dude never responded back.
Oh.
Paul, is that you introducing a band or something?
Yeah, that was right before we brought Ron Jeremy on stage, because Ron Jeremy used to show up at our events, and then I forget who the band was because it's later afternoon, so that's probably the headliner on the second stage. But yeah, that's what standing in front of 55,000 people looks like, and it's
with a huge erection.
Yeah, well, it's pretty. That's the biggest crowd. Well, second biggest crowd I ever played to.
Paul was holding a microphone in each hand.
Yeah.
I like to say hi. I'm Paul. This is John, and Ron. I just say, who's the big? Okay, that's the second one. What's the biggest crowd?
70,000 at the New Orleans Superdome. Halftime in a monster truck show.
Nice.
70,000 people though. Man.
Yeah, we brought the radio station bookmobile.
Read the screen.
There you go.
We brought the station bookmobile onto the field or onto the dirt because the monster truck shit onto the dirt and came out and had to do, I don't know what, it was some sort of a tricycle race with listeners for the moguls. And what sucks is when you're on a field like that and you have a microphone and you start talking, you just have to go through your script. You can't listen because you get a huge slap back from the PA in the house. Yeah, it's the luckiest day.
Of my life.
Yep.
It's a little different when you're on stage because you've got stage monitors so you can hear yourself in real time. But when you're in the middle of an arena like that and you're in the middle of the floor with no monitors, it's unbelievable. So, yeah, 70,000.
70,000. Just think of that, though. The amount of people that go to those shows, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, well, the picture I sent you was from in Kansas City. The radio station that I worked for in Kansas City is called The Rock, and it's KQRC, and they do, like, I guess in Washington they used to do a thing called Livestock. Or no, Florida was Livestock, and I forget what the one that was in DC, but it was Summer Stock. Yes, Summer Stock. But we had Ross Buckingham. We had
when you were in the theater, did you ever work with a kielbasa?
We had a thing called Rockfest, and the ticket prices was never more than $30,000. I mean, $30 for the tickets. It started with 30,000 people my first year, and it was 55,000 the last year.
Wow!
But it was no ticket was more than $30, so it was like 15 bands for $30. If you bought them before a certain date, and then after that there was a surcharge, the ticket bastard surcharge, and everything was $5 or less. So burger, beer, whatever it was, $5 or less. And 55,000 people. We kept the show affordable. We kept the costs affordable, and we split the profits with a company called AEG.
Cool, man.
And it was great. And we split the production costs and we split the profits. And by the end of the day, the program director of the radio station was able to hand 7-figure checks to the company because of one festival. We did it right.
Beautiful.
It was fantastic. It was a fantastic show. There'd always be like one big headliner. It would be like Stone Temple Pilots and 15 baby bands.
I was just going to ask you, could you
Nice,
remember
Steven.
who's in that show? Like anybody we know?
I've got
Steven.
one of the signed pictures. I mean, it was like, I'll see if I'll find one of the lineups for you. Just to,
Yeah, I'd be curious. Because that's a hell of a turnout, man. That amount of people there.
let's see.
Good deal. Like you said.
We had 14 bands on this one. It was in 2005. It was Seether, Chevelle, Crossfade, Life of Agony, Drowning Pool, Dark New Day, Mad Side, Modern Day Zero, No Address, Static X, Silvertide, Shinedown, the Xes, Sound and the Fury, and I forget who else. I forget who the headliner was.
That's a lot of bands, man.
Yeah, no, we do.
Hell yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, we would do them. There's a Rockfest set lists. Yeah, so I'm guessing. Well, that was June 11th, 2005. Yeah, that was 15 bands. Oh, we've got all of them here. Hang on. 2006, we had Blackstone Cherry, Buck Cherry, Candlebox, Evans Blue, Hailstorm, Hinder, Hurt, Nonpoint, Rev Theory, Shadows Fall, Shinedown, Stain, 3 Days Grace, and Trapped. In 2007, I left in 2010. So in 2007, we had Blackstone Cherry, Breaking Benjamin, Buck Cherry, Burden Brothers, Chevelle, Drowning Pool, Godsmack, Operator, Puddle of Mud, Redline Chemistry, Saliva, Seven Dust, the Xes, and 3 Days Grace.
Cool.
In 2008, it was 10 Years, Another Animal, Another Black Day, Ashes Divide, Chevelle, Rev Theory, Saliva, Saving Abel, Seven Dust, Shinedown, Stone Temple Pilots, Theory of a Dead Man, Trapped, and Blood Simple. I mean, it was cool. Buck Cherry, Burn Halo, Corey Taylor doing his solo band thing, Saving Abel. Yes. Saving Abel, Shinedown, Parlor Mob, Veer Union, Theory of a Dead Man, Dope, Drowning Pool, Duff McKagan, Federation of Horsepower, Korn, and Rev Theory.
Duff
And then
McKagan,
and the last year I did it was we had Adelita's Way, Seether, Airborne, Tatty Porter, Burn Halo, the Veer Union, 3 Days Grace, Drowning Pool, Five Finger Death Punch, Godsmack, Hailstorm, Janice, Papa Roach, Rev Theory. So those are the 5 years I was there. And you had these great shows. And then move years forward, it would be different things, but there'd be different headliners. You'd get Sammy Hagar at a show, or Zach Wilde and Black Label Society, or whatever these bands were, and it was $30.
That's a hell of a deal, man, to see all those bands.
Yeah, it was cool. And all the beers were $5 and shit like that.
No.
What are you laughing at, Jay?
You guys see this shit? I got to play it on here. Hold on. God. Ready? Have you guys seen this? Keep watching. Listen.
That's what the internet's for.
That's talent right there.
Oh my God.
That's
Running around with a
Johnny just got flagged.
I hope that's not a viral video.
what?
I hope that's not a viral video.
What count? It was yesterday. It was
It was 6 million.
Yesterday it was 18 million.
Listen to Jay. Jay's like,
Yeah.
oh shit, what did I do?
If we play a video that's actually viral, they can actually take this video down.
Oh,
what counts for viral?
You mean the last 2 hours and 35 minutes of entertaining was for nothing? Son of a
Yeah.
bitch!
Look and see what happened to Quentin James, because he did a reaction video to somebody, and even though he got like tons of hits from it, they went after him. And
What counts for viral? Is anybody going to answer that question?
just like
John BL.
like a million.
Oh, it's got 66,000,
Oh, we're good. We're good.
We're fine.
and it was a
Fine.
small little.
Well,
we'll get
I
that
mean,
tonight. We'll get
it's
that
robots.
tonight. Don't worry about
It's robots that do this stuff.
Oh,
It's
they'll
not
catch
people.
it. They'll catch it.
You know?
I like Ben Tom's hashtag. Oh, I'm going to show it.
it.
That ball rolling thing looks fun as shit.
Yeah,
I'm
it
gonna go buy a
does.
bunch of
I've seen
what
that,
are those
yeah.
things called? Bouncy balls tomorrow at the Walmart or something. Just set like 50 of them up in the street.
If we get flagged and we lose the video, we need a video of Jay doing that exact routine.
Yes, but I don't know how to play jump on a keyboard.
You'll learn.
You better stop
I'll have
practicing.
It's 3 notes. It's easy
That's
to
your
do.
penance.
Did you see that? I did a I responded back to somebody in the Van Halen group on Facebook. Van Halen 74 to 2020. It's getting just insane in there. Somebody posted
So I
something about
Roth and
jump.
Hetfield.
Somebody, there was the Hetfield one, and then somebody posted something about the song "Jump," and
It's been a
what
lot
did they
of news
say?
about Jump in the last
It was
week.
something like I wish they hadn't have written "Jump" because it was very Sammy Hagar-ish. Or
Yes,
it was
I
it was a
saw that.
stupid post. It was really
was.
dumb.
Johnny.
And then I replied to them with whatever I said, but then I went and I posted it as its own thing. And somebody replied back to me. What did I say? I said, I can't even think. What did I say,
job,
John
John.
Beal?
It's a great story.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Pull the
I said
post.
something.
Let's see the post. Why don't you pull it up
I said something like,
on the videos?
"Oh, if the main riff and jump had been played on guitar,
That's right.
if there was no keyboard, would it have been as big a
Popular.
hit,
Right.
as popular?"
God no.
Popular.
And somebody commented, okay, I'm messing this up.
Yes, you are. But I'm just going to sit and let it happen.
But no, somebody commented back and they said something, and I'm like, dang, you're right.
Uh-oh.
It
What
was
could be? What that
it was
Panama.
basically what they were saying. The part jump on the piano is Panama to the
Yeah.
guitar. It's
Yeah,
the exact same
Oh
thing.
my God, it is.
It's the
Oh,
it's
yeah,
the
it is.
exact same deal. Yeah.
Revelation. Right?
Sure it
oh
is.
my God, don't ruin it for me. Don't ruin it, Van Halen.
I'll wait.
We've only got-
Is the same
there's
as
only
for
12
teacher.
notes.
It's not the notes; it's the rhythm, right? Is it? Dun, dun, dun,
Well, I
dun,
mean,
dun,
think
dun,
Well,
dun,
it's the
dun,
chord-
dun,
it's the chord
dun,
progression.
dun, dun.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Look, if AC/DC can do it for 18 albums, Eddie
Yeah.
Van Halen can do it for 4 songs.
Oh man. Good
I
stuff.
was going to say something. Shit. Well, yeah, you're right on that sense, but Jump is a bigger hit than Panama. So there you
Yeah.
go.
On top of the world.
Jump was the biggest hit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Top of the World is like Jump Part 2, right?
It is.
We'll have the outro.
He
little
picked out the outro, of Jump and made it into that. I remember when I first heard Jump at the end of the song, the outro, I was like, my God, that would be a perfect song.
Yep.
Swear to God.
You know what I was thinking about is the fade outs. All the songs that fade out that you can hear, like they're still playing, they're still giving it their all for and who knows where those songs go or how long they go.
Well, what would have happened if Growth had actually become a song?
Well, exactly. And Fair Warning is a perfect example. I think well, no, because Unchained they end with the look, I'll pay you for it, but then there's a few songs that end with just a fade out, and it's like you can hear them. I think Mean Street, Dirty Movies, I think a few of those in the first, I don't know, maybe the whole album, but you know what I'm talking about, Johnny?
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, I wasn't listening, but
Guitar Hero.
I have all the Guitar Hero, like all the tracks, and Mean Street actually ends.
Yes.
Like there's a fade out.
How does it end on the album? Because there is a fade, and it sounds like they're still going. Or
on the album, it fades out.
All right,
but the actual track, the way they
back
actually
off
ended
that mic a little bit there, Deep Throat.
The way they actually ended that song was Eddie kept playing the riff, and then he did like a dive bomb at the very end,
which we'd all love to hear, man. That's on that's the stems of the.
Well, I mean,
isolated guitar.
Yeah,
I'll have to listen to that.
Well, it's just like Voodoo Queen. You know, Voodoo Queen ends.
Yeah.
What about Pull Me Under from Dream Theater?
Oh,
that actually just stops. Like they're still playing it, doesn't fade out. The band doesn't stop, but it actually just cuts. And I remember the first time people were saying, like the first time they heard it, they thought that either the tape screwed up.
Mr. Tinkertrain does that too.
Does it?
Yeah, Mr. Tinkertrain from Ozzy does that.
Ozzy, yep.
Was that Dream Theater tune? Was that a 4-hour long song that was recorded off StreamYard?
Cuts off. That's good.
Somewhere John Mancuda's like, they're talking about Dream Theater. It's not Poison. It's good.
So I'd like to hear that original tape of them. Same thing. Continue to play because there's no, whatever.
Well, didn't they used to back then? Didn't they used to like do teasers at the end of the second side of the album of how the next album's gonna?
Well, that was the whole point with Growth. Growth was supposed to be the way they ended Women and Children first, and Fair Warning was supposed to start with Growth.
No.
Yeah.
Now, do you think there's a tape somewhere in the vault at 5150 of maybe a piece of a song they started with that? And
yes,
I'd put my money 100% yes, because Eddie never stopped recording, right?
Well, I mean, the end of Voodoo Queen ended up being the end of Hot for Teacher. So I mean, they took pieces, slices from different songs, and made third songs. I mean, look, Ripley ended up being Blood and Fire. I mean, I would guarantee that there's a piece of that somewhere. There are. With all those tapes sitting there on those shelves, there are noodles and parts and jams and shit that.
Just listen to the Wildlife stuff. I mean, there's a lot of early 5150 and a lot of stuff that became the Sammy era tracks. Yes. What were you talking about?
Yeah, no, I mean I guarantee there's a tape of that, Jay. I'm sure there are tapes of everything. There are probably parts of songs that we've heard that are completely different songs.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't think that they the parts that they had to rewrite for She's the Woman, and stuff like that. You don't think that those just came out of the blue. Those were somewhere on tape somewhere else. Oh, well, that'll fit here.
She's the Woman.
Well, the original bridge in She's the Woman was
was Mean Street.
Yeah. Yep.
So they pulled from here and there, just like what we talked about 3 hours ago. Eddie pulling a little from Billy Gibbons, a little bit from Joe Walsh, a little bit here. I mean, look, it's funny because they took so much heat for that record for going back into the vaults and grabbing 30-year-old songs and creating something. Every band does that.
Yeah.
Every band does it. I mean, half of Led Zeppelin's catalog after 1971 was written during 1971. Stuff that's on Physical Graffiti and Houses of the Holy was written
in the
5 years.
1920s.
Yeah, a lot of it. Said John Brim. Every band does it. they go back and they grab stuff from the vaults. So I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know
Jimmy
why Van
Page-
Halen took heat for it. We don't know. I think Van Halen took heat for it because they admitted it. Because they said, well, we just went back and grabbed stuff that we didn't use.
Well,
in the
Jimmy
70s.
Page lately has been putting out a lot of, just posting online or whatever, and he's talking about how the albums have progressed, and so many of those songs were written years ago before they ever came up on the album, and they're variations of other songs that they decided not to record or whatever. So the ideas were always there. It's
Any
just
band that's been around for more than a decade has a back catalog of stuff that they've.
Dude, yeah, on the
Any band that's been
the
around for more than
B-list, the
6
back-
months has
yeah.
a back catalog.
Sure.
on the new Gizmachi record, there's two riffs. Well, they're kind
There's a
of
new Gizmachi record?
yeah, coming out pretty soon. No,
And,
there's one song that has well, there's two riffs, but they're kind of like variations. So those are from songs from 2000 or something like that, or from a song 2000 we wrote.
a riff that caught that stuck in your mind that you liked a lot, and you.
It was on a previous song that we stopped playing.
Oh, okay.
Years ago. It was just one of those riffs that like the song wasn't good, but the riff was. So we're like, we needed a riff for this one. Like, dude, what about that one riff in that song, years ago? But it's funny because I listened to a demo track of a song we recorded back in 1998. And there's these two riffs in that song during the bridge section that I was telling our other guitarist, thanks, Paul. And I was like, dude, those two riffs in that song, I was like, if we write some new music, we got to find spots for those two riffs because they're so good.
Kill
Wait a
it.
minute.
Yeah, every band does that shit.
If we write some new music, is Gizmachi breaking up?
We've
You
what?
just said if we write some new music, of course you're going to write new music.
There's really no plan to do another record. This was kind of like
This is it.
the
Good night, everybody. This is a
You
this
don't know that. You don't
There
know
will
that.
be no
this is an exclusive.
Elvis has left the building.
This
You
is an
guys
exclusive.
post number 12 on Liquid.
Goodbye,
Metal.
everybody.
11.
Thanks, Gizmachi.
You heard it here. You heard it here first. It's
Well,
not-
no, it's cool.
Jay,
because
didn't you guys post number 12 on Liquid Metal or something
I
like
think
that?
it was 11.
11.
11.
They're top 11.
Top
We were-
11, man.
We were top 10, but to be honest, I was expecting to fall out.
This one goes to 11.
Yeah,
I
but
can't-
you're still in a rotation there, and that's pretty damn high up. I mean, let's be real.
Still rotating?
Wait, what?
What was I going to say? I don't know. Every band that has, like Paul said, old music demos,
Sure.
and there's always songs that bands didn't finish writing or that didn't make the record.
I think you're right because they were up front. Van Halen was up front saying that this is old. A lot of this is older material.
Yeah, and fans don't want to hear that necessarily. Like they want to listen to that band from that time period. Like it's almost like stamped. Well,
Yeah.
that album came out, and Metallica during this year, like '88, in my opinion, they were in their prime.
Now
So if all of a sudden you find out, oh, the main riff and so that we wrote that, and I wrote that in my garage in '81 or something, and it's like, oh man, I mean, it's cool from a musician standpoint,
Yeah.
but I think the fans want it's like they wrote that song and that album right before they recorded it.
No, I think it would. I mean, if you followed Van Halen's history and you kind of knew the backstory of some of those songs, I think a lot of people wanted a full version of some of those songs too. I mean, I remember not that when A Different Kind of Truth came out, I didn't really instantly recognize a lot of the songs, but
Neither did I.
But I had heard the Zero demos and the stuff, the early rarities and that kind of stuff, and as soon as I kind of made the connection, I was like, yeah, this does sound like, and I would certainly, it's the best thing they could have put out at the time, in my opinion.
Yeah, but there were people that were pissed.
Well,
Yeah,
there's
they
always
were.
going to be. There's always going to be people there.
which is a joke. I mean, Eddie even said he was like, "This is stuff that we had. This was good stuff. Didn't make the cut back then, so we went ahead and kind of massaged it and put it out now."
Yeah,
And I think it sounds great.
I don't think KXM Rock brings up the best point. You wrote it, it's yours, use it whenever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
It's
Perfect
yours.
point, AXM.
Except for in Led Zeppelin's case, they didn't write a lot of it. And they used it anyway. And they eventually had to
And
pay
they got
for
away
it in
with
the
it
end.
for the most part.
No, they didn't though, because they
No.
wrote checks for all of them.
Did they? Well,
Yeah.
they had the money to back it up.
Yeah, they wrote checks
Speaking
for
of
all
that,
of it.
Paul, you bring up another good topic. We have 4 minutes left, John BL.
Oh,
Steve Lukather from Toto was on with oh my God, Rick Beato. And I guess a few weeks ago or something, Rick Beato did a video on the top 10 Spotify songs. Like most, I guess every once in a while he'll do like a top 10, like what song.
yes.
It'll kind of listen to him and kind of give his opinions and, you know, show you maybe the chord structure
Right.
or certain things in the melodies, like cool stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So he plays this song from Justin Bieber. That's like one of the, I guess, most popular songs ever. And well, right now, you know, God, I'm losing it right now. Anyway, so then Lukather is going to be on one of his shows as a guest. So he start listening to some Toto to kind of, you know, get yourself familiar with it again and maybe, you know, make some notes. Oh, you know, this, whatever. And he notices that the first song on Toto 20 is literally the chorus. It's the same identical chorus. I guess the Toto song is a BPM slower or faster, but I guess they didn't use a click. So that's Jeff Porcaro, who was a monster drummer. But, so the song, the
Is
Toto
that,
song,
2020, is that a recent release from them, or is that like a 2020 release, or
I don't know, it was
20?
77 to 97. So Toto 20. The first track is on it is called Going Home or Going Home.
Go home.
So what Rick Beato does is he obviously, you know, pulls the tracks up in Pro Tools, lines them up,
And ABs them.
and then he didn't even A-B them, dude. He adjusted the Toto track by 1 BPM. He played them at the same time. I thought it was the same song. I thought it was one song. That's how identical they are.
Wow.
So he's like, okay, now I'm going to play them separate. He plays the Justin Bieber song, then he plays the Toto song, and then he starts doing A-B like while each of them are playing, like one pass. And I'm like, somebody's getting sued. You know? Somebody's making a lot of money.
Remember the Satriani Coldplay thing?
Coldplay. Yep.
Yeah.
So, and he also mentions he looks at the songwriters. So if you go into Spotify, for instance, you can pull up the song, go to song credits.
Mm-hmm.
Written by, oh, come on.
Does it say Fish?
It's two band members. It's D. Paich is his name, Paich, and Jay Williams.
John Williams. That's John Williams' son.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
So two guys wrote that Toto song. Do you know how many songwriters are on that Justin Bieber song? Take a guess.
Like 11.
Close.
6, 7.
9.
Man.
It took 9 songwriters to write a song that was already written. Can you believe that shit?
All right, you want one? You want one that'll blow your mind?
Oh, I want one.
Here you go. Disturbs, Liberate.
Uh-huh.
With the beginning, the moment the fuck everyone to liberate your mind, but is Shaka Khan's "I Feel for You."
Oh wow, I haven't heard Liberate, and if I did, I don't know.
You'd know it. You'd know it. Liberate. That it's it's go motherfucker. Let me liberate your mind. It's a staccato rap at the beginning of the song. It is Shaka Khan. Let me rock you, Shaka Khan. Let me rock you. Yep. And I told David Draymond that on stage. And I wish I could play you the audio. I have it somewhere. Actually, it might be on my website. I told David Draymond that song was Shaka Khan's "I Feel for You," and you could hear the crowd in front of the stage go, "Ooh."
What did he say?
He goes, "Really?" Because David Draymond's a pompous guy. He goes, "Really?
So you're about to introduce this band, and you're in.
No. We had. At Ozfest in Sacramento, and this might have been an Ozfest that Jay played in the early 2000s. It's like 2002, 2003.
Festival that they played, and was Trivium on that festival?
It might have been.
It was a big show.
I'll tell you which festival is because you would remember the night. It was the night Marilyn Manson fucked his background singer with a microphone. Remember, he had to headline. He had to headline because Ozzy got too fucked up in Seattle a couple of nights before with what's his name from Deftones, Chino from Deftones.
It wasn't this
one.
what I'm thinking.
Yeah, but that was it was like 2002. No, it's going to be earlier than that. It's going to be no, it's going to be like 2001, 2002. So we had a second stage like broadcast area where we had like a couch set up and tiki torches and all that shit, and it was literally a mini stage. So there were 3 stages. There was the main stage, the secondary stage, and then our broadcast stage, which was like an on stage suite with like a couple of leather couches, drink refrigerator, that kind of shit. It was all sponsored. We were broadcasting live. So artists would come in through the whole thing. We had Newstead. We had a bunch of people come by. And at the time, David Draymond was riding around on his mountain bike because that's what he would do during the day while the other bands are playing. He'd just sort of ride from stage to stage. So he comes on and we're talking to him about this, about how Liberate is Shaka Khan's I Feel For You. And he was furious, but handled it really, really well. It's just one of those stupid things I found. And I have the audio of it somewhere, but we can't play it because Johnny will get flagged. But you would be surprised that those 2 songs, that rap at the beginning and the Melly Mel section of I Feel For You is the same song. Beat mix, the same thing. It might be a half beat off, but it's the exact same cadence and delivery.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Ozfest 05, there was an off day. And at the time, we were sharing a bus with Trivium. So they had all these Ozfest off date shows, a buttload more than we did. So there was a couple shows where, we were in the same bus together. They'd have a show and we didn't. That shit sucks. So, and it was one of the shows where Disturbed was playing. And same during the day, he was walking his dog or dogs around the whole thing. He wasn't very friendly.
Who, Draymond? No.
Yeah.
No, he's a dick.
He didn't seem like he wanted to get into any kind of conversation.
Super pompous.
Yeah. But I did
Super
listen
pompous.
to the Jamie Josta podcast with David Draymond on, and I listened to it not by choice. I was driving with OJ from Byzantine, and he was listening to it, and I had a newfound respect for him after I heard it. I was like, this guy is smart as shit, knows the record industry inside and out, and I was impressed listening to him.
Oh no, he's not stupid.
No, not by any stretch of the imagination.
And a lot of people, remember that the thing about him having to do time in the Israeli military was a big thing that he stepped on immediately, because every Israeli citizen actually has to go to serve 2 years.
Wow.
and Disturbed had a hard time touring over in the Middle East. They couldn't tour because David Draymond was getting death threats, and that that's fucking, nobody deserves that. So he's a smart guy, super intelligent. He's got a lot of Gene Simmons in him. That Gene Simmons like arrogance about him.
Businessman.
Yeah, he's smart. He's smart, but he's not. He's socially awkward
too, man. He can sing.
Yeah, he's socially awkward. I would say that's probably the best way to say it. He was never a dick to me, but I've heard he's a dick. But he was mad when I pointed that out.
I don't see why he would be.
He's a dick.
No, imagine.
I think I might have been the dick in that scenario.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Good night, Tony.
I wonder if I have that. I'm going to see if I can find that audio.
Share
quick.
that with us. That's funny.
Maybe
I
if
can
I
find it
sold as
quick.
many records as him, I'd be a dick too, right? Why not?
Yeah, if you're lucky.
I don't have time for you peasants.
Jay, you talk about bands that you were on the road with Byzantine, and they'd have shows and you didn't. I remember.
No, it wasn't Byzantine.
Or who? Trivium.
Yeah, Trivium. Yeah.
We had Slayer at the club I worked at, and I think I want to say Testament and Suicidal Tendencies showed up just to hang out, which was
Here,
cool as hell.
I'll put the link to it right here the link to the interview is in the chat, so everybody can listen to it if they want to.
Well, showing up to hang out is one thing, but when you're like,
I mean, they were big. Yeah, I mean, they
we were literally like felt like we were trapped in the bus. I know that probably sounds like a great thing to be in a bus, but I mean, when you're Johnny knows this. I mean, when you're like on a tour, the only thing that was like fun was getting on stage and playing. Like if all of a sudden you're traveling and you have to you have to take this long drive out of the way.
Yeah.
And then the band you're with is playing a show and you're not. You have to just
That's what it was. It was a one-off date from a festival tour that they were on, and it was a one-off date that they had the day off, so Slayer played and the rest of them didn't.
Mhm.
Well, there's a difference when you're Slayer
Well,
and
of
when
course.
you're a band that Jay and I are in.
Yes, of course.
You're in a van where you're driving or somebody's driving,
Oh, I can imagine.
and you've had a few too many
No,
the night before,
not you
and
guys.
you're not feeling it, and you're just in the back of a van just traveling, and you get to the next venue, pound a few, so you feel fine, and then you play, and then you're back. It's a cycle. It's terrible.
Mhm.
It's I mean, it's great.
I never had the
It's
opportunity.
awesome, but at the same time, it's people think it's glamorous, and it's not.
No.
And when I would show up at venues, the first thing I would do is I'd look for the bathroom. I would always look for the room.
Mhm.
You know.
No, I mean it's it's not. I mean, it's there was a bunch of tours, man, where we were getting like $5 a day per diems. And when you're
What are you working for?
when you're on the road away from home and you're basically eating like a peanut butter and jelly for breakfast and then buying like using $5 to buy Subway with no drink and then the venue gets you pizza at night. There was one tour I came home from and I think I lost like 12 pounds or something. And I'm not at the time I was even lighter than I am now.
Hadn't
I remember I
discovered
walked in the
kernels
door, my
yet.
parents were like, "Have you been eating?"
Yeah, and laundry. You do laundry like once a week or twice a week. I would sleep on people's floors for an entire month. I slept on a floor with no mattress, nothing.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, don't get me
Yeah,
wrong. It's not like I would go back and say, no, I won't do it because of those reasons. But it's not like, especially when you're on the, lower side of as far as your popularity on a tour or whatever, we weren't out there to technically make money. We were out there to, hopefully live
Make
our dreams.
music.
Type of thing.
and then make money, hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. You're in it with,
well, at the time that Jay and I were both out there doing it, you were out there to make MySpace friends. That's really what it was. It was all about MySpace.
yeah, it
at the
was,
time.
man. It was.
Like I was telling Jay last night, I still have. If I go and look, I'm scared to go to MySpace now, but I had I had thousands of MySpace friends, thousands, and then it just dried up because everybody jumped to Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would never, if I know it's not the glamorous lifestyle, especially now. I mean, it's if you're in a heavy metal band that's starting out, it's not.
Well,
It's not
you
the
can't
same
even tour. You can't even tour.
Well, I'm not saying right at this moment. I'm just saying as far as how the music
Glamorous
industry is now, and it hasn't been the same in America in a while.
Social media has also changed the entire.
It changed everything. The
Yeah.
internet, social media,
Yeah.
streaming, just everything's so accessible where nothing's a mystery anymore. You see a band like, oh man, so and so is coming through town next month or 2 months away. Awesome, we got to go. Next thing you know, this tour starts. You're pulling the shows up on YouTube. You're seeing 30 different angles from cell phones from different shows with pretty goddamn decent audio. Takes the excitement right out of my ass.
Yeah, but the interesting thing about that is people thought that because the NFL is presented the way it is and the NHL are presented the way they are on television, because let's face it, watching a football game on TV is way more interesting than watching it live.
Yeah.
People thought that seeing it with all those angles and all the opportunity to see replay and stuff would kill the live experience, and yet the NFL is more popular than it's ever been. So the idea that people seeing these shows being brought up on YouTube or cell phone videos, whatever it is, are going to stop the live experience, if there ever is a live experience again, I think that the business is going to change. I think you're going to see a lot more pay-per-view streamed concerts like this because it's economically viable. You can go worldwide for one cost and you don't have to tour. You can do one big show at a time like Kiss did down there in Dubai, and make a mint off of that, off of one production versus touring, 2 trucks, flip-flopping over each other, leapfrogging each other, going from city to city. But that live experience is still going to be an essential part of the business. And quite frankly, that's the only way bands are making money now live. So, obviously not making anything right now, but the whole idea that the internet and social media and streaming and all that stuff will kill the game, I think what's going to happen is you're going to see somebody that's going to utilize that technology to their benefit, kind of like what U2 did when they did the pop tour or the Zoo TV tour, where they had the big screen and the satellite dish and went from channel to channel and went, what's going on in the world while we're doing the show. Yeah. They were interactive with the show. Or Springsteen, and I think Paul McCartney did it too, where you could text questions to the band while they're on stage, or requests for the band. The Rolling Stones did it, where you could text requests for the set list. And I saw the Stone set list. It was, 4 songs, and then it said text request. So the 5th song on the set was always different in every, well, it wasn't different. I'm sure certain cities, requested the same song.
They know what, they're going to request.
Yeah, they kind of know what songs are going to be requested. Kind of like
one of 10 songs.
Yes. And so, but the fact of the matter is they changed the set list to go, here's an opportunity for people to text in their request. People text it in, and the band reacts in real time. That's how that technology, I think, is going to change and personalize the experience.
Yeah, it's just another extension, right? I mean, it's just another way for the band to reach out and the people to reach out to, to the band.
Sure.
It just makes it that much more personal. And it's so much easier now, right, wrong, or indifferent, to get your brand out. I know it becomes saturated because of the internet, but if you rewind 40 years ago, what are the odds of, unless you have some kind of backing, know somebody 100%, have an in the industry.
How far are you going to reach?
Yeah, how exactly? What's your reach then?
Nowadays, you can reach around the world in an instant.
Correct.
Would you say you want to get a reach around?
Yeah.
Oh, watch out!
But
when you get,
I know what you're saying, Michael. Yeah.
But when you get a decent producer, like let's say, oh, I don't know, Jay Hannon is mixing your music, all right, and you've got a platform like YouTube, and it's your music, you own the copyright. So now we're on this show, we play the song. Now it's up there in perpetuity. People can watch it and hear it at any time. You can eliminate the need for a record company. You can eliminate the need for live touring. You can eliminate the need for all of those things. Economically, this could make the business easier. It's just going to change the way we consume the media. And that's going to be a generational shift. It's going to take guys like us it's going to be 2 generations from us. They're going to look back on what we're doing now and go, oh my God, that's like AM radio. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because technology is changing and how we consume media is going to change. And the way kids are consuming media now, digital media, they don't buy, they're buying vinyl again because it's hip, but they don't buy CDs, they don't buy cassettes, they don't buy records and all that stuff. They do it all with Spotify and digital and playlists and MP3s, and they sacrifice fidelity for portability. I don't care how good it sounds as long as I can carry 500,000 of them on my iPad. Mm-hmm. And that's just a new way that we're consuming.
Yeah.
Robot Master Switch has a question from, assuming, me and Johnny. Ever have to wash your junk with wet wipes? Hell yeah. And he says we called it the whore's bath. Yeah, we used to, me and my, our bass player. Thanks, Paul. We used to buy the Dr. Scholl's or whatever foot spray. It was like basically anti-perspirant or anti-perspirant.
Antifungal cream.
Because my feet would sweat. And if you're in a van for
down by the river,
all day and night, we used to sleep in the van, which is not the greatest thing with 5 dudes. Sometimes 6 when we had for a little while, one of our buddies came with as a driver to help out. But yeah, we used to do the baby wipe shower or bath in the trailer. Wipe off the feet good, spray the shit out of them. That way, because hot foot, man, in that van.
That's what cologne is for too, to cover up the fact that you're not showering. I went on the road with Jackal for like a week, and they have a bus. You know, they're a little bit bigger than a van, but they're not. It's their bus. It's not like a tour bus that their record company is paying for, anything like that. That's all do it yourself. I mean, Jesse handles all that himself, and those guys have a routine to keep the stank down on the bus. I mean, like everything when they stop, if every like fourth or fifth show, they'll stop and get a hotel room. But most of the time they're on the bus. They only get that hotel room so that they can use the hotel's laundry, and everybody showers. Make sure that they shower. And then the rest of the time it's, you know, spray bottle and towels in a garbage bag, you know, a plastic bag, and spun up so that you can't smell it. And it goes in another box and all that shit. And it gets packed underneath the bus. And then every time they stop to get gas or anything, it's the vacuum comes out. They vacuum everything. They Lysol everything. I mean, it's unbelievable the amount of cleaning. Because people think, oh, you go out on a tour bus, it's all rock and roll and decadence. It really isn't. It's where you live, and you got to do everything you can to keep where you live from being fucking rank. When you got
mobile home,
when you got 8 people on a bus, it's bad. At the stank after 2 or 3 days, you can't really avoid it. So every 4 days they would get a hotel, use the laundry, you know, wash their shit, and then go back out on the road.
And then there's always places or whatever, towns you go to, somebody at the show, like a fan, you know, it happened to us a lot actually. Like, hey, you know, you guys want to shower and stuff after the show, whatever, you know, you guys can come over and, you know, crash at my house and shit. And we weren't like one of those big partying bands where people had to worry about us going to their house. So, you know, that was cool too. You go to some stranger's house, you shower, do a little laundry if they're cool, and, you know, take a nap on the couch or something and split.
You know who the Flaming Lips are, right?
Yeah.
But they used to stay at the music director for my college radio station when I was coming up, stay at his house every time they played Boston. So they didn't have to get a hotel. They'd stay at, he'd be like, Dave, what are you doing this weekend? The Lips are coming in. I'm like, oh, no shit. They just basically, they would basically come in and live in his basement for 2 days.
So I got a kind of a funny story about that, because Ben Tom says, Jay, did you have any farters in your van?
Oh, here we go.
Yes, me and the other guitar player, except 2 differences. When I farted,
who stunk, who didn't?
When I farted, nobody got mad because they were loud, but they didn't smell.
I knew it.
And when Mike farted, nobody would know it. And all of a sudden, you'd be like, oh, you know, and most of the time he wouldn't even know. His line was, Mike, did you fart? It may have been me. One of those. And then we played in Kansas. No, was it Kansas City? No, it was Connecticut. My cousin Ricky lived in Connecticut at the time. He lives in Kansas City now.
It's no big deal, Ricky.
The house he owned had very thin walls, very thin. So we played Connecticut. Might have been the Hartford Civic Center or something, because it was on the Slipknot tour. So we were playing a big place. Not that we were big. We were opening the shit up. Nobody knew who we were. Big snowstorm and everything. We get to his house. You know, he lets us in and stuff. We get all situated in the whole band was in one room. So I'm laying there and I let one rip. And it was so loud. All of a sudden I hear my cousin through the wall laughing. And then next thing you know, it was like everybody was just cracking up. Nobody could sleep.
Farts are always funny.
Because of the fart.
Hey, David Ennis. Good to see you, dude.
David Ennis.
Farts are always
David Ennis.
Still to this day, whenever I talk to my cousin, he brings up the fart. Hey, remember when you farted and awesome.
Hartford?
Vartford.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to watch out for the Hartford Civic Center in the snow. I think they lost their roof one year. Oh, you remember that, the Hartford Civic Center
from all the cuts in the place
in the 80s. Yes.
Oh, the warm air rising.
Oh, they had their own weather systems in there.
Because the
right, Santa Cruz.
Because the fucking whalers didn't pay their bills.
Yeah, but Mike had Mike not only did his farts stink,
that's horrible.
but he would wear his
nasty, man.
he would sleep. We are
Gotta watch out for that robot.
Yuck.
our first like real tour with Head PE after the album came out. It's in February of 05, and it was cold.
PU.
First show was in California. We lived in New York. Well, the rest of the guys still do. So it was like 27 hours or what is it to take to drive from New York to California? It's something crazy.
Sounds horrible.
Probably do it in 25 if you really went fast.
Yeah, well, he slept literally like 20 hours of that trip, and literally like never took his sneakers off. And I remember when he took them off, finally, like, oh, gross stuff, man. Like I said, you want to be in a touring band that's not making much money. Be prepared to smell your bandmates.
What about the crews that have to go do that too? Like they're not even the talent.
They're getting paid though.
Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're paying the crews.
Yes.
The band is paying the crew. But.
If you're lucky enough to have a bus, the best taken care of person is the bus driver. He's the guy that gets the hotel every night. He's the guy that gets the best meals.
Truck drivers, yeah, the truck.
Yeah,
drivers
the bus driver is the guy, and then of course your crew guys. Those guys get taken care of while you bask in the glory of your fame and fortune. Yep, it is. The glory of being a musician and being in a band is highly overrated until you get
being in a musician.
Until you get
being a musician, until you get to a certain level, it's highly overrated.
Yeah,
and the odds of getting to that level.
Yeah,
it's if you knew then what you know now, you wouldn't do it. There's clearly people when they say we do it for the love of the music, they certainly do.
Oh, 100%.
Well, that's why people in their 40s with families don't all of a sudden be like, you know what, I'm going to go on tour. I've never done it before. I think it'll be fun. No, it's for those young balls in your pants. That's when you go on tour.
That's why guys in older
20s,
guys in touring bands, they play weekends. They do like when Ozzy tours, he goes to a central location and sets up there for like a month. Like he set up, I don't know, it was the Boston Harbor Hotel when he did it in Boston, and he would play Boston, New York, Philly, Washington, Maine,
New Hampshire,
Vermont, Hartford, that whole area, Providence, and then leave from Boston and fly down to Miami and play all the Florida outlets.
Right.
And then he'd fly to, Dallas and play Houston, Dallas, New Orleans, and they would just fly them on puddle jumpers to all these places.
Yeah, but that's odd. I'm talking about somebody that
that's my point.
I'm talking about somebody in their 40s that's all of a sudden like, you know what? I'm going to go on tour.
Well, that's what sucks for guys like
bad idea.
For the love of the music.
That's for sucks for guys like when you get a guy like, I don't know, we'll use Arnel Pineda or one of those replacement singers, James Durbin, the kid that sang for Quiet Riot for 2 albums. He wins or he was on American Idol, right? He wins or he was on American Idol and now he's in Quiet Riot and he thinks, he's in his 20s and the guys in Quiet Riot are in their 50s. And he's like, hell yeah, this is awesome. And they're like, shut up, kid.
Yep. Fucking job, dude. Shut up. You love your spunk, but Jesus.
Shut up, you. The guys, like I said, the guys in Jackal, the guys in Tesla, some of the guys that I know that are in bands, they do it, weekends. 2 weekends on one, they don't only do weekends. They fly out on Thursday and they're home by Monday, play 3 or 4 shows and they're gone. They find a way to make that routine work, or they'll do 2 weeks of the biker bar, the biker rally circuit, and then they're back home. Those guys don't tour like getting in a van and going across country anymore.
No, they don't.
And to your point, also with just the way things are nowadays, with technology and everything, you can get a good venue together, and you don't have to tour all over the place. You'll if you're a fan of the band,
they'll come to you.
Yeah, you're gonna tune in. Maybe donate whatever it is, and enjoy the show that way. I mean, of course, it's better, I think, being there live, but there's options now. There's a lot more
Yeah.
options.
Well, I mean, take what we're doing right here. I'm looking at 79 people looking at us right now
At 3:30 in the morning on the East Coast.
at midnight
That one-
30 here.
Yeah.
That's more people at most every show I ever played ever looking at me. You know?
Yeah, when you think about it, right? As an
I mean,
upcoming
this-
band or something, right?
I mean, this really is the future. I mean, what we're doing.
To be fair, I think most of them tune in for me. So
Well,
You're
I
right.
mean, that's. I
Well,
mean,
it
it's your
is John
show.
Biel's Saturday
That's-
Night Live.
that-
So
that-
yeah,
I mean,
that is
sort of the way it is.
true.
I mean, there's
I
no
mean,
doubt.
look at that guy.
Not me,
hell,
look
look.
at him.
He looks
Turn
really
your hat
young and
around.
spunky with that hat. He
I
looks
wanna
so
get-
good.
I can't. I got the headphones on. It's,
Turn around.
Oh,
You-
you
you-
get
bright.
some of that.
oh, look at that.
Oh wow, that is something.
wow.
But you know, Vegas residency is also the other thing. It might be cheaper now for a band to
That's a good
set
point.
up in Vegas. All right, it's cheaper for me to take one of those $40 flights out of Mesa to go to Las Vegas. All right, so that's $30 or $40. It's cheaper than that to do that than to drive to Vegas. So I take a puddle jumper from Mesa, Arizona to Vegas, get a hotel room, and buy a ticket to see that band in Vegas than it would be to go and buy front row or first 10 row seats to the Glendale Arena across town. I mean, it's almost cheaper to do a residency in a destination. Economically, why should I pay $500 for a ticket to see Kiss in the first 10 rows at the hockey arena here in town?
One show opposed to a residency.
Yeah, or should I fly to Vegas
Yeah.
and I can see as many shows as I want? I can see them a couple of times for the same cost.
Yep. And the thing about it is, like, again, if you go to see a show in one arena, that's it. There's a certain amount of what did I do?
That was your New York accent came out.
Arena.
A wiener.
Wait, what?
So if you went to see a show in a wiener, and
With your wiener.
so if you have a place that has 20,000 seats, all right, they're all prime for up front. You're gonna pay prime money. You go to Vegas and they're there for a month.
Why is everybody yelling at
You're
me?
getting a first ticket. Okay, you're gonna bust my balls now.
It's not like 12:30.
No, it's fucking late. We're 3.5 hours into this. So Johnny said he didn't want to do a 4-hour fucking show, and here we are
Oh,
knocking on the door.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So
No,
You
it's
know-
not you. No, Michael, you've only been here an hour. It's all good.
yeah, exactly.
You feel free to go for another 3.
I'm good. Who's ready?
Not me.
Keep walking on that long, man.
I'm doomed.
But you're right.
Yeah,
It's
you
cheaper.
in Vegas, you're gonna have a better shot of getting a good seat cheaper. That's what I was
And
trying.
more opportunity.
And a $2 steak dinner.
And whores delivered right to your room.
Exactly.
Hey now.
Legally.
Yeah. Swipe. I'll take that one, please.
Yeah, what well, in the old days, Mike, this just shows you how old we are. In the old days, you had to sit at a blackjack table until some cocktail waitress came over and gave you an index card with a phone number on it.
There you go. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, you're not that old.
All right, I gotta.
I'm the oldest one. I'm the oldest one here right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm grandpa.
As soon as Jay leaves, I'm the youngest one here. Wait, John Beal, how old are you?
I'll never tell.
Oh,
I've told several times. No, I'm 46, almost 47.
when's your what month are you?
April 15, tax day.
Oh,
Yeah.
tax day.
You're
Everybody,
older than me. Yeah.
everybody hates your birthday, huh? And I'm April 27th, so
Oh,
How old are you, Jay?
43.
Okay.
I'm April 8th, actually.
really?
And how old?
Are we
52.
all?
Jay
Are
and
we
I are
all-
3 years and what? 8 days apart.
Are we all Taurus?
Aries.
I'm Aries. Yeah.
Now, me and Johnny are Gemini.
I'm April 9th. 1994.
That's so full
You're
of
not fooling
shit.
anyone.
I'm cool with it, man. I don't give a shit. I'm 52 and this world belongs to me. Anyone of you?
Wait,
what's
are
our-
we all April birthday?
Anyone of you
What's
little
everybody's
shits-
birthday in the
Anyone of you
chat?
little
What's
shits wants to step to it? Let's go.
in the chat? What's everybody's birthday? We got
you won't be
79
the first
watching.
to get out there knocked out.
How old is everybody watching this, or what year were you born?
Yeah. 2 brain cells is 1,977 years old.
That's something. All right, we're beaten.
Wow. Oh man.
Yeah, Robot Master says it. He's 45 is like the new 30. He's right, man.
Yeah, I could give a
What
shit
a time
less.
to be alive.
It's a great time to be alive. Look at those fucking pictures coming from Mars. That's awesome.
Hell yeah, you ain't shitting, man.
That is so
Yeah,
awesome.
Cool as hell.
But-
Man. Watch the whole landing. All that.
Wait,
Oh, man,
who
fuck.
said that? 45 is new 30? Well, maybe if you feel like it, but music taste wise, no.
No.
Some 45-year-old dude is not listening to what a 30-year-old dude is listening to.
Really?
Well, it depends on how into music you are, because let's face it, the cycle has changed. A lot of those bands like Greta Van Fleet and Rival Sons and shit are just doing the same thing that Cream did 40 years ago, 50 years ago. So the cycle does repeat itself.
But they were
Big Ol'
fucking
says no
bands
joke.
doing that when Cream
Crazy Licks is Poison.
But it depends
So-
on the genre, though.
Well,
You-
we're not- never mind.
The
He was
John-
born
But you know what I'm saying.
66.
I think you got more 30-year-olds listening to pop
No.
than you are listening to
That's true,
classic rock.
That's because that you'd be surprised. That's the funny part about it is 18 to
Really?
24-year-olds love Queen and Zeppelin and Kansas. It's fucking strange. I can't figure it out. All I can say is it's probably because it's better. Because Carry On Wayward Son is better than anything Disturbed will ever write, and Queen is better than anything
Wow.
Five Finger Death Punch will ever write. Five Finger Death Punch's biggest hit is a Bad Company song. That's classic rock is just better. I'm not saying it because I do it, because I certainly don't listen to it all the time, and, but the fact of the matter is Queen and the Stones and Zeppelin and Van Halen and U2 and the Police are better.
Santa Cruz, I'm glad you said bought.
He didn't say body, he said bow.
Or whatever you said. Oh, well, then I don't know what you're saying.
I got to split, boys.
Yes, I think we're good to wrap it
It's
up.
1, 2, 3, 4 out here. That's pretty cool.
It's
It's
3,
it's
2, 4,
134 here.
something like that here.
Are we good?
I don't even know what it is.
Yes,
Oh, I
that's the
thought
thing.
you
Jeff T puts a good cap on what we were just talking about. I see teenagers buying old rock records and using record players. Kids are buying Queen records. Kids are buying Aerosmith records and Beatles records now.
It's retro. It's like
Yeah.
when I was in high school, it was about the Who and Zeppelin, which was 20 years old at the time.
Yep.
Well,
That's what they're listening to.
I could use the bathroom, so keep going for another 2 minutes.
Let's call it a day.
End it.
I gotta go.
We're gonna make you sit here and shit in your pants in live TV.
Thank you all, channel members. You.
Thursdays
you,
at 8.
and this guy and that guy and all those people.
And all those people.
Oh, that's rotten.
Well, let's not forget Michael Smith. Who's,
Yeah, we'll say Michael Smith twice.
and all the other people,
The captain and the rest.
and the rest. Jay's out of here.
I'm out of here. Bear.
Good night, man.
Thanks, everyone.
I'm
Thanks,
I'm
Jay.
out too. I gotta go let the dogs
Eh.
out.
Yeah, I'm out too.
Later.
Good night.
And then there were 3. I guess I got to stick around to the end, so just end it. Johnny's gone. It's me and Michael. Johnny's gonna go to the bathroom. I guess we got.
I got to use the room real quick. We got 79 watching.
All right, go to the bathroom.
Entertain them for a couple minutes.
All right. Anyway, how you doing, Michael?
I'm
You
doing
and
all
me.
right.
What,
Like your
what do you
hat.
got?
I hate the B on it. It should be an N
Oh,
line.
it's all right. Hey, man.
I
what do
know.
you want? I'm only wearing it because my head's too shiny.
Oh, look at you are kind of shiny up there, ain't you?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely shiny. I don't care, though. I'll embrace it. Here we go. The
It
last
is.
30 seconds of the show, you get the real John BL.
There you go. Hats off, like gloves off. Hats off.
That's right. You
Yeah.
want to start something? Anyway. Well, how was your week? Did you have a good week, Michael?
Busy. Work's keeping me
Busy.
busy, man. Yep. Next week I'll be not this coming week. The following week I'll be down in bouncing between Colorado and New Mexico, doing more steam locomotive inspections, climbing inside of boilers, which is cool.
Fascinating stuff. I love it when you post quick pictures of your work. It's all good. It's really cool stuff, and somebody's got to preserve that stuff, you know.
Yeah, it's my favorite part about the job, actually, because of everything else I do, you know, with the freight railroads and the passengers and stuff, the tourist railroads, because the stuff is, you know, I'm working on stuff that's over 100 years old.
Right.
You know, it really is fascinating, and I'll put up more pictures, you know, when I'm down there. So, like I said, I'll be in between lower to the southern part of Colorado and into New Mexico, back and forth. And I'm going to be going down there actually probably 2 more times within the next month or so. Then I'm going to be going out to Iowa for steam inspections and then just doing my regular work. So
Nice.
Keep me busy, man. Really
Good.
keep me busy.
Good.
What's going on with you as far as school and everything? I mean, are you still all remote or?
No, I'm doing special ed this year, so that's one of the groups that's really pretty much always in. We're in person 4 days, 4 out of 5 days. So we do Wednesdays are remote. But other than that, we're in with we have different groups of kids that are in. Our group is like, you know, the kids that choose to be in, you know, as much as they can, but there are a lot of groups that are out not in person.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you got your shot yet?
I'm waiting. I'm on the next as far as the Massachusetts governor, he's teachers are in the next group that's going to be getting it. So
teachers should have been way up front, man. I think that's ass backwards. I don't want to get crazy on this, but that's I mean, I think that could have helped a lot.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it. So as soon as I get the go ahead, I'm up for it. So that'll be soon. The next couple of weeks.
Bentham, Eastern Pennsylvania area. I used to be there in that area when I was working for Conrail on the Class 1 railroad, but not in my new job. So no, I don't get out there. I've been out there for training, putting on classes and stuff for steam locomotives, but outside of that, I'm out here in Colorado. I'm in the western part of the country. So, and we're losing Johnny quick.
No, for me it's early. I mean, it's only 12:40 here, so I'll be sitting here for a while.
Well, I'm talking about steam locomotive stuff. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, you guys lost like 20 people.
Well,
when it came back, 20 people just left.
Well,
sorry guys.
I gotta get out of here. It's late where I am, so let's wrap it up.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks everyone. Thank you. And look at me with the bright. This is why I wear a hat.
Man, that's
man. You wear bald good.
That's bright. It's all good.
It's becoming of you, man. I like it.
Thank you. And thank all those folks. We got to see everyone tonight. Great to have everyone on the show again.
Yes. And again, channel members. Yeah, new emojis. I haven't said that for 3 hours now, 3.5 hours, but yeah, new emojis in the chat for you guys.
Cool.
Yeah, we did those just tonight, right before we started. Very cool. There they are.
Nice.
Thank you again, Cobra Kai Platoon, for all your stuff, man. That's
Cobra Kai kicks ass, man.
That's right.
Absolutely
incredible, dude.
He's such a big part of the show, really. I mean, no two ways about it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing, man.
Nice.
Yes.
Thanks for all you do, everyone.
Yeah.
And of course, thank you for listening on, Johnny, as always.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. I'll show you these again. Thank you, channel members here on YouTube. Of course, we're live on Facebook as well, but Facebook wants to really show stuff. So That's where the donations really help on the YouTube side here with the lights and with the super chats and the channel members. All that is going towards making everything bigger and better just on the internet in general, So
Yes.
it's not like, $20 comes in, it's like, yay, I can go eat. It goes in towards this, and pretty soon I'm gonna have to start paying for ads for these things.
Are you for real?
So, yeah. Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah.
This, squeeze every penny out of you.
Of course.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's not free. People think, it's
No, this is not free.
It's
I
not
love
free
it.
doing this stuff at all.
But the point that you're saying that is that it just amplifies the fact that you really do need support. I mean, because they're always adding on certain things that used to be free, right? And now it's like, okay, well, now you need to pay X amount for this, where it was completely free for the last 5 years or whatever. They just keep adding on costs.
When we lost Google Hangouts, it was free.
Oh yeah,
using that.
I remember that.
When it was me and some other people, it was free. It was free doing it. Once we lost that, I was telling these guys for a long time. I knew for a couple of years in advance. I'm like, dudes, I'm gonna have to start paying to do these shows, and we're gonna have to find a way to do this stuff because Google Hangouts is going away, and then there's Zoom and we use StreamYard here, but even doing the Facebook thing within the Van Halen group, I want to create a dedicated show within that Van Halen group because we're over 30,000 members in there. It's insanity in there. I want to do a dedicated Van Halen thing, and it could get real big, real fast, just crazy. Thing is, we can't pull StreamYard into there because Facebook blocks it. Like, we're live in there right now. There's like nobody watching us. Makes no sense, right? But if that link, I do 3 shows a week. So if I 3 shows into that, see, it all costs money.
Yeah.
So it's not like, hey, Johnny got $5, woohoo. It's not, you know what I mean?
No, yeah, no, 100%. Yeah. No, I mean, they're always figuring.
That's why I got to figure out other ways.
There you go.
To do this, like the lights changing, which is for real. I hooked it up where it is magic. Where anytime a super chat comes in, it changes automatically. And again, that's something I had to figure out. I had to figure out how to do that, but I appreciate everybody that watches this stuff. I mean, it's unbelievable. Yes, I've been doing this stuff for a lot of years, but it's just amazing that people even show up to even look at this, because back in the day, it'd be me and other people sitting here. We'd have 3 people watching this. I would go live years ago. There'd be 1 person watching me,
Yeah.
And more Twitch stuff, Robot Master Switch. Yes. Yeah, I want to do something. I want to do. It's hard to say, but with copyright on YouTube, it's a very serious thing, and on Twitch, it's not as serious, right now. And so, if we were to do something on Twitch, we could actually play some music, and do some stuff, and it would just be more stuff. But it's just trying to figure out the stuff, because I need to go live more on Instagram as well. I've got an EVH gear fan page on Instagram that has almost 15,000 followers, and
that's all linked to Facebook, though. I mean, that's the thing.
Well, yeah, Facebook owns Instagram.
Yeah.
But I just there's just so much. There's so much stuff to do this and do this and do this, and the podcast. You know, in the end of the day, you know, I want the podcast to really, you know, be its own thing as well, because that's really that's huge. You know?
Oh yeah, podcasts of getting massive, man.
KXM Rock, yeah. Rank Van Halen tracks and dissect them on Twitch, playing them. Definitely. That's something I want to do. You know, that's something we could do. I'm now that everybody left. Well, not you guys are here now that everybody else left, and you want to leave. You know, I want to figure out. Here's what I want to do. I want to figure out how to turn what we're doing here into a couple other different things. Like, hey, you know, we go live, you know, Saturday night. We do half an hour here, half an hour there, you know, different places. And then we can do, you know, stuff that we can't do here, we can do there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
you know,
no, that'd be fun to be able to do that other stuff that we can't.
And bring everybody with us.
Yeah.
You know,
because there's so many times you just want to play that song, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't do that on YouTube.
No,
you can't. You can't. I mean, I've told everybody, even though you guys keep doing it, I'm like, please don't show videos, don't play this or that, because
I meant to hit mute earlier, by the way, and it was too.
It's been a while since I played any videos. I know I used to get flagged in the early days.
I'll wake up in the morning with some sort of flag.
Yeah.
You know, and no, I know how it is. All right, John BL, this is your show. I know you need to split. Thank you though, everybody, for watching us.
Yes,
thank you. It
was a good night.
Thank you.
Have a great week, everyone, and tune in to Johnny's shows coming up on Tuesday and Friday and any other time Johnny wants to say hi.
Yeah, channel members. I do stuff, you know, for you guys behind the scenes. And then again, on Facebook, I'm looking to do something in the Van Halen group, because 30,000, you know, followers. We have to do something in there. We have to.
Yeah.
So,
untapped audience.
Yeah. And the end result is to bring them here.
Right.
Yeah. I was telling this to Jay last night. You know, it's like, yeah, you know, the reason I do all the Van Halen stuff is because I've become kind of known for that. But you bring everybody back to, you know, what you're trying to do, right, David Ennis?
Yes,
you rock, man.
Good night, everyone.
Leave a thumbs up, everybody.
Thanks for hanging out.
Good night, everybody.
That thumbs up, and let's call it a night. See you next week.